Welcome, everybody. Episode 2 of the 2022 NFL Draft Mockumentary, where we're going to go off script a little bit. We're going to discuss what some teams could do, the possibility of, because every draft, whether they're trading up for a quarterback or a lineman drops like Laramie Tunsil or the Raiders taking Cleveland Farrell, there's always a surprise. There's always oh, I didn't see that coming, and that's what we're looking to do here on this mockumentary program. Is we're looking to I didn't see that coming. So when we're sitting here looking at the draft and we're talking about the draft, and at 5 and 7, that could really affect the Giants if one of these teams in the top four or even Carolina does something wild. Hub, what's up? Thank you, man. I appreciate you being here. Levance, what's good? Taj, what's good? Yeah, I appreciate everybody stopping in. Like, subscribe, ring that bell. Like I said, we're just we go off the wall a little bit here. We just, the possibilities of look. I mean, we called the Bengals nuts for drafting Jamar Chase, not getting alignment, but they made it to the Super Bowl. Now I get it. Everybody is putting, the all line for the Bengals. Yada yada. There's a lot of debates and a lot of scenarios and situations that's going on with that. But good, bad, or indifferent, drafting a wide receiver got them to a Super Bowl. They're a young team developing. We all thought that was the wrong move. It turns out it was the right move. When they lost, but it got them there. So now what do they need to win it next time? That's what we're going to discuss here. Mike Nixon, what's good? Everyone talking to everybody in the chat. Love seeing it. I love seeing this. Everyone saying what's up to each other. We got such a great community here. I'm proud to be a part of this. Me, I haven't gotten one yet, Hub. I'm still looking. Still not 100% sure on what I want to get yet. Exactly. And that's why I do this and call it a mockumentary. Look how the Bengals did it. Look how the Rams did it. And actually, that game went right down to the wire. I mean, that was a hell of a Super Bowl. There were some penalties. There were some bad plays. There was some penalties that weren't called, but when it's the Super Bowl, the refs usually let them play. And I kind of hated seeing the flags come out at the end because they were just letting the guys play. I mean, there were some false start penalties that weren't called. There were offsides penalties that weren't called. I mean, there was no sense in throwing those flags at the end of the game, but that's my personal opinion. But the Rams built it. They gave up picks. They got proven commodities. They won the Super Bowl. The Bengals, you know what? They stuck with a coach that only had 6 wins over 2 seasons. He wasn't very good the first 3 seasons. I do believe. And they built it through the draft. So you're absolutely right. This is showing what's going on, what the draft can do for you, what free agency can do for you, how to acquire that piece that puts your team over the top. Now, do you guys believe that maybe a stud edge rusher with a couple of free agent linemen is going to help the Bengals out next year? Is that the move they should do? I mean, they are going to be picking 31st. So, oh, that's all right, Pat. You're fine, man. I sent you the link on Twitter. Uh, exactly. It was, and it just goes to show that you can do it both ways. But when you do it through the draft, you're developing a young team. You're getting the talent. You're grooming that for a long-term run. The question is, there's talk about Donald retiring. OBJ is a free agent. He tore his ACL. How many other guys are going to leave? Is Whitworth coming back? What free agents are now look, the Rams are going to have a little bit of free agent money, but they're not going to have, $60 million to resign some of these guys. So now they're going to have some kind of a plan moving forward with what they're doing by giving up picks. Burrow might have a torn his ACL. Yep. So that's another scenario. Poor kid, you know. Look at OBJ, first one knee and then the other. But I tell you what, the Bengals better draft some O-line help. Well, that's why I said, Mike, do they need to go look, say what you want. Kansas City bought an offensive line, and that was a lot of the talk, especially among Giants fans. They're like, look, Kansas City bought an offensive line. Why couldn't we do that? And they made it all the way up there. They were one game away. So, and then everyone says, well, the Giants don't hit on free agents. You're right. The old regime, Gettleman, Reese, Shermer, Judge, the old regime did not hit on free agents. Left a lot to be desired with a few draft picks. The drafts got better, in my opinion. The last 2 years, I like it because I think we got some talent on the team. But the new regime, we got a new regime. We got to have some faith. Call it blind faith if you want to. You got to have some faith, though, that this regime knows what they're looking at when it comes to a free agent lineman, when it comes to drafting a late round lineman, or in this case, this year, a first round offensive lineman. Andrew Thomas is the only guy we got right now. And the last 2 Super Bowls proved how important it is to have that really good offensive line. Kansas City couldn't do nothing with it. The Bengals couldn't do nothing with it. But that also goes by the old adage of Giants football. A stout defense wins you championships in playoff time. People say Eli Manning rode that defense. Well, Matthew Stafford rode that friggin' defense just as much as Eli Manning did, if not more. But that's my opinion from that game. So, on that basis, is it worth 2 round picks in the first round for offensive linemen? We just saw what a stacked, stout defense can do in championship playoff football. Yeah, it wasn't in clement weather, but it might. Man, I called that this year because it was 56. I wanted the Giants to be in Super Bowl 56. Lawrence Taylor, there could have been a hell of a storyline there, and a lot of people did. A lot of people didn't like the halftime show. But look, seriously, that offense had weapons, decent O-line, and the Bengals were getting pressure on Stafford. They were getting him confused. He started missing some passes there in the third quarter. We were all waiting for it to show. But is defense the right call here for the New York Football Giants? I get it. I might drop the link here in a little bit there, Mike. I want to do some draft talk. I'm waiting for my partners in crime. I was going to drop the link because I'm sure everybody's got a lot to talk about, and we're going to have a pretty good night here. I just got a feeling because now football season is completely over with. Now it is the combine. The combine is 2 weeks away. No, I don't even have faith in anything but the Lord. Well, you know what? We're gonna have to, yeah, an average. That's why I say, is it worth it looking at defensive players, especially this draft? Karlaftis, Hutchinson, the linebackers that are coming out. There is some offensive talent, but if you break down the offensive talent, you're not looking at like a Sewell coming out. You're not looking like an Andrew Thomas coming out. The guys are going to need a little bit more development, breaking down and looking at all of these guys individually. King Tone, thank you. Appreciate y'all stopping in. Well, Mike, like I said, look at what that Rams defense did, man. That Rams defense took the game over in the second half. That's what I'm saying. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I mean, when do you guys think the next stud edge rushing class is going to be? 3-4 years? I mean, we always see a good lineman coming out. But they're talking about linemen next year already that are going to be coming out. It seems like every year there's a couple decent offensive linemen. And I'm not saying to just completely ignore the O-line in no way, shape, or form. But I'm just looking at when's the last time a good linebacker was drafted. Parsons last year, we could have had him. How about before that? It was the edge rushers, but you had a Bosa, you had another Bosa, and then you had oh god, there's a couple more, but nothing like a class like this. No, everyone says that the New York Giants haven't drafted a linebacker in the first round since 1983, Carl Banks. That's a long time, you know. Exactly. I'm looking forward to that too. I want to make sure I catch that. But that's the point right here. Because we saw what winning teams do. And what helped the Bengals? Really? Burrow was getting killed, but that Bengals defense kept them in that game. If it wasn't for those guys stopping the run like they did, getting a little bit of pressure on Stafford, they're not in that game at all. Even without OBJ. OBJ was starting to torch them. They lost OBJ. The defense really came through for the Bengals and kept them in that. That's the defense. Edge rushers. Don't spoil it because I really want to. All right, Lou, they'll be waiting for you. I said I'll probably drop the link here in a little bit. Exactly, Hub. Exactly. And that's playoff football. Look at what that defense did for the Bengals, even though they had a shoddy old line. By the way, Jamar Chase, if Burrow had time, Bengals win that game on that last play. Because guess who got torched? He was wide open, running down the sideline. If he had a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds, 1 second extra, and he could have spotted Chase down the sideline wide open. That's a touchdown game right there. So could have been a whole different story. NYG 22, what's good? So this is what I'm saying. An okay offensive line, top 15, top 20 in a number 3 defense. We're known for our great defenses. The great defenses is what kept us in the game. The great defense is what won us games in the 80s. It won us that titles with Eli Manning. Great defenses. And boys stepped up. Strahan. All of them. All of them. His last year. And then it was Tuck and OC and JPP and pardon me, Matthias Kiwanuka. That defense beat the Patriots. Eli made the plays he had to make. Joe Burrow couldn't make that last play. Not his fault. Not blaming that loss on him at all. He played a damn good game. He played exactly how I expected him to play. The pressure didn't get to him. The excitement didn't get to him. He's been in that spotlight before because he come off that sideline there with a minute something left. He was just shaking his head like, I'm ready for this. This is my moment. This is my moment. He knew it. He knew it. He was ready for it. He didn't panic. I don't like the play calling for those last 3 plays. So we can blame the Bengals loss on the play calling. You could say it was a bad offensive line. He should have known better than to try that play on 4th and 1 when Aaron Donald and company were getting home throughout that whole game. They weren't tired. They had all that rest. That OC should have known better than to call that short run, especially at Aaron Donald. They were running to the outside with Joe Mixon gaining 6, 7, 8 yards at a pop. Why didn't they stick to that? You want to talk about a loss for the game? Mixon played his heart out. He was making solid, hard runs to the outside, away from that interior D line. That's how they were moving the ball. But they kept getting away from it, wanting to throw it. And then when they had to throw it, Burrow didn't have a chance. But that line could block to run. They had a couple of nice heavy formations. Oh, Lou. Yes, sir. Lou be in here in a minute, guys. But exactly. You tell me that those two aren't going to get even better? Watch out when Chase and Burrow get in this league for 2-3 years. Offense and a good get that defense wins it. Yes, you do. I'm not saying you don't. But which is going to be more feasible, getting Wink Martindale, his players, in the first round, or doing the offensive line? And I'm not saying one's right over the other, because I'm going to be happy both ways. Because then I'm going to understand the game plan of what's going on. Sauce Gardner, that might be a trade down, Mike. I do like him. But now let I want to wait before I really get into talking about the documentary with Lou and Pat here, and make sure that I can get everybody's point of view on this. And I know how everyone thinks differently. So that's why I'm just talking about the Super Bowl right now. I'm talking about what I saw on the Super Bowl. Man, he probably wearing his black one. I think he loves that Super Bowl 25 one. What's good? Joseph Balby. Man, appreciate you coming in. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate all you guys. But, I just talking about the semblance of, what the Bengals look like, what the Rams look like. Two teams that built their teams totally different ways, but both got to the Super Bowl, but both wrote a defense. The Bengals defense had Mahomes with a 0 QBR in the second half of a football game. Who's done that this year? Nobody. That's when you've got the guys that are coming into, how many years has it been since we've seen 3 or 4, maybe possibly 5 guys that are really good edge rushers come out in one draft? One draft. We've got 5 edge rushers, 3 top quality linebackers, but we've only, in my opinion, 2 tackles that should be a top 12 pick. There's only 2 tackles worthy, and one of them's not even Neal. I did a film breakdown on him, and I know I'm going to catch hell for that one. I know guys are going to say, what's wrong with Neal? Watch Pat's breakdown with me and him talking about it. And the only reason is because it seems like Neal doesn't play through. He'll hit a guy, use his strength, and then just like, okay, I blocked him long enough. The quarterback should have the ball gone by now. I can stop. The whistle hasn't even blown yet. Whereas if I watch Cross in Ikea Mekwanu, they're pancaking guys. Neal should be doing that. And I didn't see a lot of it. And that's the only reason. I just did not see a lot of him just bulldogging guys right to the ground going, I'm just going to dominate you. And there ain't a thing you can do about it, because that's what I look at a tackle. If I see a guy that gives up halfway, that reminds me of Matt Pert. That might be it too right there, Hub. He might be a work in progress. That's why the kid was number 1 coming out of college. He got a lot of publicity. But let's look at some of the other players that were hyped up, because this quarterback class was really hyped up. Not only did you have Corral, You had it is fixable, but is it really easy, Joseph? Because if he doesn't have the mindset, like I said, he reminds me of Matt Pert. If Matt Pert doesn't have that mindset of being that aggressive, because the scouts even said when they picked him, he's not aggressive enough. So if you don't have that dog mentality into your head, how do you coach that dog mentality into somebody that's not into it? Is that the right word? Blaze, thank you for being here. Trying to make sure. Let's see. You can buy a Super Bowl like the Rams, but that's not sustainable. Correct. Rams are one and done. The Bengals will be good for a long time because they built it the right way, which is through the draft. That's it. Yes, that's exactly what I said in the beginning of it. I agree 100%. The Rams might be able to make it next year, but they don't have a first round pick this year, next year, or the following year. And then look what they gave up for Von Miller. And he's not coming back. They gave up a second and a third this year. Do they even have a draft? They might have a fifth or a sixth round pick. That's about it. They don't have nothing. That's the only thing that worried. I agree with you, Joel, but a good team can fix that, not us. Well, you know what? Supposedly we got the right coaches. But if I'm using a first round pick, that guy better be a dog. That guy better have an attitude. Even Lemieux was a fifth round pick, but he plays with attitude. Now, I don't know how he's going to be able to come back after that injury that he sustained, but at least I know when Lemieux hits the field, he's an angry individual. Like Hernandez's first year, when he hit the field, he was an angry individual because he would get in everybody's face. We haven't seen that the last 2-3 years. I wonder if that got coached out of him. Hernandez was a dog his rookie year. We all had a lot of hopes for that guy. We loved what he was doing on the field after his first year. But then he just went right down. But he had a dog mentality. But what happened to it? Was it coached out of him? Was it all the BS that was going on inside the Giants organization we didn't know about? The famous words of Terrell Owens, get your pop. Man, people better get their popcorn ready. I see a lot of ways the Giants can go. And about the only way I'm going to get upset is if we took a wide receiver with 5 or 7. Now, if we traded down to pick 18, 20, took a wide receiver, I'm not going to get mad at that. And here's my brother, Lou. Lou,
what's going on, fellas? What's up, Joe?
Another Giants mockumentary. We're just discussing Super Bowl because there have been some past moves this week that are very interesting. Pat's going to be here in a minute. And I wanted to wait until I got you guys on here. I dropped the link here later tonight. Get some people on because I really want to hear their objectives. But
Vance, LA Vance was good. Yes. Or Levance.
Oh, he's got the blue hat on tonight. I was sorry. We can't start. Mara will just. I'm happy we can start from scratch. I got a feeling he means. And Mara will sit back. Yeah, exactly.
You know what? And I agree with you. I was listening backstage before because I had to change my background from the UFC joint.
Right.
But what's up, Hub? What's going on, Blaze? Joseph Balby, what's going on? I agree with you as far as saying hello to them made me forget what I was about to say.
Well, I was talking about Hernandez and Pert.
Right,
and
Hernandez.
Dog.
That's it. Hernandez. Now, his first year, he was a dog. He was hungry. He was scrappy. He was tough. Taj, what's going on, Taj? And then the offensive line coach, I don't know what the hell he did, but everybody looked like they regressed on that old line. Not just him. Although he did regress. I'm not doubting that. I'm saying they all regressed.
Right.
And they didn't get any better until Joe Judge took over the line. So was it the coaching or was it the players? Now, I would hate to see Will Hernandez go somewhere else and be a fucking dog again.
Right.
But I don't want to keep him and he be a bitch again.
Right.
So it's, it's tough, man. It's gonna be a tough off season. It's gonna be a lot of tough decisions made on players that we like and don't like. So it's like somebody just said it as I was popping on. Get your popcorn ready.
Right.
Get your
Right.
popcorn ready because it's gonna be a doozy.
And this might have been a big problem too, Joseph. We did have a lot of O-line coaching changes. Halfway through the first year and then the second year, there was a fight halfway through. They knew the coach was getting ready to leave for the University of Florida.
Well, there's also a lawsuit with the O line coach. I think prior to that one, saying that there was a hostile work environment and that he actually got beat up and some other shit.
Right.
So
Right. So we really don't know what's going
it
on, and we
seems
don't know
like
who's
the
at fault.
whole situation over there was toxic, and maybe the best thing Odell Beckham did for himself was get himself the fuck out of here. Because you see, he went and got a ring last night.
Right.
Also, another point of emphasis that people are not talking about. Odell Beckham looked like a beast when he had a veteran quarterback in Eli Manning. They sent him over with a rookie, and he looked like shit. They sent him back over to the Rams with a veteran quarterback. He gets a ring. So, was Beckham the problem? Or was Baker Mayfield the problem?
I,
Evidently, Baker Mayfield and the coaching over there in Cleveland suck. Because
I,
when you have a guy like Odell Beckham on your roster and you can't use him and you can't get nothing out of him, your coaching and your play scheme sucks ass.
well, that's. I think you're going to find a lot of fans that agree with that. Even ex-Giants fans that hate Odell could definitely see what you're talking about right there. And
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you. And when I said that the Browns might be looking at a quarterback this year or next year, people looked at me kind of funny. And I'm like, well,
Listen,
that's another valid
you had
point.
the same receiver with 3 teams. He balled out on 2 teams. On one team, he looked like shit.
Right. Right.
If it looked like a duck, quack like a duck, walk like a duck, damn it, it's a duck. The common denominator in this motherfucking scenario is Baker Mayfield. He
Right.
trash.
He is average at best.
He is another Dak Prescott, ladies and gentlemen, a glorified backup that got drafted into a starting position.
Yeah. Hey, I look. I mean, compared to all this crap that goes on, and people can hate me, but that's why I like Daniel Jones so much. He doesn't talk. Who's living at the facility right now? I'm not hearing Mayfield's at the facility. I haven't heard anything about his surgery. I haven't heard anything about these other rookie quarterbacks, Fields or anybody doing what Daniel's doing. He's there at 5 o'clock in the morning because the
Appreciate
coach
that,
said,
NYG.
I want some of your ideas. So he went in, he got some ideas down. He was getting a workout in a
And
snowstorm.
and another point I want to bring up, not to cut you off.
No, please.
This is the kind of shit that happens when you hire a friend and make him your general manager. He trades away an all-star fucking receiver who was young and dumb. Granted, yes, he did a lot of dumb shit. He caused us some penalties and he was a distraction sometimes. But the right thing to do in that situation was bring in a coach who can rein in the reins, pull in the reins, and get the best out of this guy. Not
Right.
trade him after you sign him to a buttload of money and get nothing in return. What did we get? Jabril Peppers?
Dexter Lawrence.
And Dexter Lawrence might be gone
Oh,
this
and
year.
we got the guard. What's his name? Zeitler.
Who's gone.
But that was with the OBJ and oh God, who was that end that sucks so bad?
It was Jabril Peppers.
We traded OBJ and a defensive end who we signed a 5-year contract to, and he could never play for us healthy. What was his name? Oh my God, I can remember. He had a good first year, and after that, he was just dog turd.
But my point is, you hire a friend, you make him a GM. He trades away your best receiver.
It wasn't Zimenez. No.
You don't draft any receivers to replace him that are worth a damn.
Olivier Vernon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned it into a package. It was OBJ and Olivier Vernon.
No. We got
Zeitler.
Olivier Vernon.
Huh?
Oh no. We did trade Olivier.
We
Vernon.
traded Olivier Vernon and Odell in a package deal. Is how the NFL came about it. Yeah. For Zeitler, for Peppers, and for the 17th pick overall, and I think there was another later pick.
Yeah.
But then we got Dexter Lawrence out of it.
And Odell Beckham went and got a ring, and we didn't get nothing in replacement for him.
Right.
Peppers is hurt. Dexter Lawrence didn't produce. Zeitler left.
Right.
So when this is what happens when you hire incompetent people and you let them stay around and retire, and then you wait to the longest possible time to allow them retire, which inhibits you on your GM search and your coaching search.
Right.
We could be scouting already and having the draft mapped out and all that. Thank God we hired a good GM who already had the first 4 rounds mapped out.
Well, we believe,
yeah. But otherwise, we'd be really screwed. So to all the Giants fans out there that are mad at Odell Beckham, when you take in all the factors that have come out now,
that works
with the culture and the toxicity in the building.
Yes.
And the fist fights and the cursing and the arrogance of the GM. Because I honestly believe Odell Beckham was happy until Dave Gettleman got here.
Well, we had no clue that was even going on.
But go back and think about it. We had no problem with Odell Beckham until Dave Gettleman became GM. Odell Beckham wasn't going out and having interviews with Lil Wayne and shit while Jerry Reese was the GM and Coughlin was here.
Well, Coughlin had more control of this team than Gettleman or anybody else
Exactly. So then you bring in Gettleman, who's just a slick talker, a piece of shit in my book. And I don't care how mad Miz gets about it. He's a fat, fucking worthless piece of shit that ruined this team. And whoever disagrees with that is just either smoking dope or crazy.
Well,
because Gettleman ruined this team. Yes, I did not like what Jerry Reese did after Tuck left and after Strahan and all them guys left. He didn't rebuild. But Dave Gettleman fucking put the nails in the coffin. He buried us.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit.
Goat balls on a hot summer day in the Mojave Desert. He was the worst fucking GM I've ever seen.
I'm glad you brought this up. He should not have
been allowed to retire. He should have been fired and embarrassed, humiliated in front of the fucking world, the same way he made our team look. Humiliated.
Yeah. Well, I said, Lou, I'm glad you brought this up because this is a scenario for everybody in the chat also. I have seen on Twitter, people said, I would gladly go the next 3 decades as a mediocre, crappy team to get a ring today. Now, as Giants fans, it was 11 years ago when we got our last ring. So I want to know everybody's thoughts with fans like Detroit, the Browns. I'm sure there's some other fans of other teams. I can only speak on ones that I've seen. They say that to get a ring, then the next year or 3 years, whatever it takes, that they would willingly watch the next 2 or 3 decades of crappy football.
NYG 22. Sorry, Joe. If you go back and you look at the trades that were made and the draft picks that were made, them 2 Super Bowls was because of Ernie Accorsi.
Yes.
Reese didn't draft any of them players that won them Super Bowls. And when they left, he didn't replace any of them.
He drafted Talk. I think he got
No. Wellington Mara drafted Tuck. That was Wellington Mara's last pick was Justin Tuck. He personally said, I want Justin Tuck.
There was a couple, but it was not earth-shattering. I mean, his best draft pick after a Corsi left was Odell. Hands down.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
look
we
at the
needed
lineman that
but we
guy
needed
drafted.
but
Jerry
we
Reese
needed we
sucked.
needed when he drafted Odell Beckham, as much as I loved Odell Beckham, we needed an offensive line and we needed a defensive end. Strahan was gone, O.C. Umenyiora was gone, Justin Tuck was gone. So you draft Beckham when Eli was getting killed every time he snapped the ball.
Not to
You did
mention Westberg, Pugh, Flowers. Those were Reese's picks.
Yeah, and they all sucked ass.
Right.
So he wasn't much better than Gettleman. I'm just saying Gettleman was worse, but he was not good. Them 2 Super Bowls that we won was off of Ernie Accorsi's draft picks.
But what do people think about that? That fans are saying they'd give up 2 or 3 decades to win 1 ring.
I bet they got their foot in their mouth right now because we just went a decade without winning a ring. And look how everybody was going ape shit, talking about blow it up, burn it down, fire everybody.
Right.
With just 10 years.
Right.
Imagine 20 more. Half these fucking people will be jumping off the Empire State Building.
Right. Right.
Reese didn't find Cruz. That was all Tom Coughlin and that Victor Cruz. Victor Cruz was an undrafted free agent from local. He was from Jersey.
Yeah, he played in Connecticut.
There was a lockout season, and he made chemistry with Eli Manning because Eli called him up and they started throwing the ball together during the lockout. And they built chemistry. So after Eli Manning went to Coughlin and said, I got chemistry with this guy, I like this guy, Coughlin said, well, that's why I brought him. I like the guy. They kept him around, even though he missed his entire rookie season with an injury. That was a Coughlin move. Now, Bradshaw, JPP, I can't argue with you on that. Reese did draft them.
But that's out of, from 2011 till 2000.
No, yeah, he wasn't as bad as Gettleman. 100%. Gettleman was the worst. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
No, you're fine. I was just trying to remember the last year Reese was here. Was that 2018? Was that his last draft, or was it 17?
It was right after. I think he left the year after Coughlin.
Yeah. Because OBJ is what saved Jerry Reese's job for a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it. 2017. Thank you, Levant. But, I mean, you watch Reese panic. He took Evan Ingram when we shouldn't have. He reached for Eric Flowers. People were saying he shouldn't have even been a first-round pick. And we saw how that worked out. I mean, he's had his share of busts. But if you really look at Gettleman the last 2 years with Judge, I like those last 2 drafts, though, Lou. Whoever had control over it, whoever did it, outside of Zimenez and Carter, you know what? Carter kind of turned around a little bit. But we do have some young talent. Huh?
I'd boot his ass off the team right now.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Zimenez, Will Hernandez, Danny Shelton, Nate Solder,
I was
Kyle
talking
Rudolph,
draft.
Sorry's ass.
I was talking draft, not free agent.
I
was talking draft picks, not free agent.
I know. I was just saying I would get rid of all them names that I just named.
Oh, yeah.
I'd get rid of fucking all of them.
Price, Sakura, Solder, Hernandez, Rudolph, Ingram,
Shelton.
I don't think Blake Martinez is going to come back. I think Bradbury's going to be a trade guy. I think there's going to be a lot of turnover. And I told people this the minute that new guy was hired, the minute Gettleman was fired and Shane got brought in, loved the team, not the players. And then everybody was upset when we were talking about Barkley with any trade rumors.
Yeah, I was the main one upset. Don't start that shit.
Right. But
don't start that shit. I will leave.
I don't want you to leave, Lou, and I'm not trying to piss you off, damn it. But it's part of this team now. It's what we have to think about. You think I want DJ gone? Man.
Oh shit. Reese and McAdoo got fired in early 2017. Cannot
Yep.
give Reese credit for the players that won the Super Bowls, but give Gettleman credit for the last 2 drafts. No, I do not. That's Joe saying that shit.
That's me.
I don't give
I'm
Gettleman
saying
credit for
that.
shit. In fact, I believe that was Joe Judge who got Tony and Ojolari and Aaron Robinson and those guys. I believe that was all Judge. He
I
had a
think Judge.
pulse. He had a pulse, more of a pulse on the college players because he hired a lot of young coaches from college.
Yes. 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 I think Gettleman really might have had his
And
hands tied this
and
last
he was
draft.
also highly involved in the drafts in New England where they're known to trade back. And if you notice, we traded back multiple times in the last draft, which is something Dave Gettleman has never done. So I honestly believe that was Joe Judge doing that draft. And look, guys,
I'm not.
he's gone now, and everybody that wanted him gone is happy, and people who didn't want him gone are conflicted. I think Joe Judge will be a good coach in this league. I just think he was a bit overwhelmed. He didn't have the support staff that he wanted to hire. He
Right.
actually wanted Brian Dable as his OC. He didn't want Jason Garrett. Mara
Right.
forced Garrett on him. So and Pat Shermer as well wanted Brian Dable as his offensive coordinator. So the 2 coaches that we had recently wanted Brian Dable as their OC, and now
Who's
he's
our head coach now?
So
Right. And I'm not saying that, Jerry Reese did not have his hits.
facts.
I
NYG
followed
22.
Jerry Reese. He did get some players in the draft early. His early years when
his first few years he did his thing, but then once our offensive line started falling apart and our defensive front started leaving, he didn't replenish them.
Right. And like I said, he'd let his draft picks get known. He always let them leak out. Then Chicago jumped us for a linebacker that we wanted, and then another team jumped us for somebody else he wanted, and then he panicked. He would always panic. He never had a third choice.
He never had a backup plan.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what. The 7 P's of efficiency as taught by the Marine Corps. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Stupid.
Right. Right.
Yeah, Shermer wanted Brian Dable.
Yes.
And Joe Judge wanted Brian Dable.
Yes,
Both
he was a hot commodity.
Dable as their OC.
Yep. And the Bills blocked us.
Now, could you imagine that? Could you imagine if we had Shermer, Brian Dable, and James Betcher?
That would have been.
That probably would have been a lot better than what we ended up with. Because we had what? Kyle Shula? Yeah, we had Kyle Shula as our OC.
Mike Shula.
With Shermer. Yeah.
Yes. I never liked.
Yeah, me neither.
A lot of people didn't like him.
Yeah, Shermer had that useless OC in Mike Shula. That's exactly who we had, but he wanted Brian Dable.
And then look at how Betcher tore our defense up.
Yeah, that Tampa 2 defense, fucking God almighty.
Right. It was awful. It was horrible. Where the hell are we going to go with that type of... And then we had to bring in all them ex-Cardinals players.
The only one that was good, we let him go back to Arizona.
Right.
Shit. Forgot
Edge rusher. Golden Tate.
Marcus Golden. Yeah. Thunder beats the Knicks. Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh, Betcher was. It wasn't even the play caller. I know. Shermer was.
Yeah, because that's how little confidence he had in him. That's not the guy he wanted.
Right. Well, we got a little bit of different news today also, Lou. Did you see the report that the Washington Commanders are willing to give up their 11th pick to San Francisco for Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah, bring him on. We'll pick the shit out of him. Bring him on.
Remember how I got killed when I said Jimmy Garoppolo might go to Washington?
Yeah, but that's fine. Let him go to Washington because I want to
But
intercept his ass 6 times a year.
but everyone's like, no, that's not going to happen. I got to pound myself on the back for that one. How does this change up the draft with San Francisco getting that number 11 pick? Do they trade up and get a partner for Bosa? This is a draft scenario. This is the draft scenario right here, ladies and gentlemen. Right there's that pick 11, Washington. San Francisco doesn't have another pick, but they have that one at 11. If they trade for Garoppolo.
Wait. Where's San Francisco picking at right now?
They don't have a first-round pick. They traded it.
Oh, so they'd have to.
They gave it to Miami. Or else
they're
it would be 29.
They were 29th overall. Okay.
Right.
So Washington would give them their 11th pick.
Yes.
For Garoppolo.
Right there, yes.
But who are they going to go after at 11? Willis?
Well, no, because Washington, that's going to be San Francisco's pick if Garoppolo goes to the football team. So Washington won't have a first-round pick. They'll get Garoppolo.
Right.
And
that's
the
what
49ers
so
are going to get 11.
San Francisco's pick be Willis?
Well, they took Trey Fields last year. Or Trey Lance. They took Trey Lance last year. So they got a quarterback last year. But could they go up and get somebody for Bosa? Would they trade with the Jets to jump us to get an edge rusher, Thibodeau?
Would they go up at 11 to get a center?
That's another question.
Didn't he have that bobbled snap in the playoff game? Didn't Jimmy G have a bobbled snap that got him sacked for like a 9-yard loss?
Something
in that
like
Rams
that.
Game?
They got Trey Lance last year. They got their quarterback of the future last year. He sat a year behind Garoppolo. He's going to be the starter. And I don't know as if the Commandos, from rumors that I have seen, the Commandos do not like any of the quarterbacks this year in this draft class, which is why they're thinking to go up or trade for Garoppolo.
Lou, they would. What? They would go up to get a center?
A center, an edge, a tackle.
Because they can get a Linderbaum at 11.
Well, you know what? They might like Cross.
Well, Cross is a tackle.
Yeah, look, they need a tackle too. You know, look, this is a mockumentary. We're every year it happens, NYG 22. Every year, Laramie Tunsil fell. The Jets moved up one. You know, look at what the 49ers did last year.
What up, Tone?
Gave up this first round pick to go up and get Trey Lance.
No, I don't drink sparkling water. I drink alkaline water.
There's that wild move. Cleveland Farrell. Who expected the Raiders at 4 to take him? That's why we're here discussing this. What if? How does that affect the draft? Maybe not. I thought they were losing one of their tackles this year. I thought they had the 49ers had something with that, but you know, Lou's got a point. What if they like Linderbaum that well? They've proven that they'll give up picks to go up and get somebody. But could you imagine if the 49ers got Thibodeau to put across from Bosa?
Oh my God.
Is that a possibility?
We have the 5th and the 7th, Balby.
Right. Well, look, and we might trade those.
Yeah,
Those
and
might
I'm
be
all for
traded.
it. I'm all for it.
Me
As
too.
long as we don't trade all the way out of the first round.
There's
If
another one, Mike. What if they like Karlaftis that
Oh
well?
God, I don't like that fucking kid. I don't know why everybody's so hung up on him.
I do it. I
He
tell
is
you,
not what everybody's making him out to be.
Karlaftis.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're talking about the right guy, not
Yes.
Hutchinson from Michigan?
Yeah. No, I know Hutchinson is a bust. He is not a bust, but he is not JJ Watt or TJ Watt like everybody's making him out to be. But I don't think Karlaftis is, to be honest with you, I think Karlaftis is better than Hutchinson.
I got him 1A, 1B.
I
I
think
have
Karlaftis is
Karlaftis and
better
I
than
have
Hutchinson. I
Hutchinson
think it's
1A,
Thibodeau,
1B.
Karlaftis, then Hutchinson.
Thibodeau does not have he's not a 3-down edge. That's why I have to have him second or third in this case. He can't set the edge and he can't stop the run right now. But if you want a pass rusher, just a pass rusher, 3rd-down pass rusher, Thibodeau's the man. He's number 1 on the board. If you want a pass rusher, you want an elite pass rusher, has the moves, the size, the skills for a 3rd down, you take Thibodeau.
Look here, NYG22 says, why the hell would Washington trade number 11 for a backup QB and Jimmy G? That would be the dumbest trade ever. If you're going to give up a number 1, it better be for Rodgers, Wilson, or Watson. Well, listen, this is the Washington Deadskins, Redskins, a.k.a. Commandos. You know, these are the same guys who went and got Kirk Cousins, Alex Smith.
Well, you're fine, Damar. Thank you.
You know, so
thank you for being here.
These guys is bro, listen. If I was 60 years old and had arthritis in both knees, you still wouldn't be able to dunk on me. If I was 60 years old and had arthritis in both my knees, you still would not be able to dunk on me. I'm going to put my forearm against you, and anywhere you move, that other hand going to come and smack that ball right back in your damn nose. You're going to have a broken nose trying to dunk on me, and it ain't going to be a foul. I'm going to smack that ball right in your face. I'm going to spike that shit like a volleyball player. The only dunk that's going to be happening is the ball dunking against your nose. You crazy? I played prison ball for years with humongous dudes, bodybuilders, and they couldn't dunk on me. You weigh about 130, bro. Ain't no way.
130.
Ain't no way. You be screaming foul and I ain't even touch your ass. Just putting body on you. Stop, bro. Stop.
Because absolutely, I'm telling you, if they do give up 11 because they don't like the quarterback class.
Yeah, LA Vance, I was inside for a long time. Okay. Yeah. But I've changed my life around and I'm trying to do something productive.
That's right. And he's got me as his guardian angel, so he can't screw up now. Well, one day we're gonna have a get together, Rick. And then you're gonna have to back that ass up, my guy.
Super Ties know what I'm talking about. Super Ties know what I'm talking about. He said Luby hand checking. Damn right.
Right, right. So what does that really, guys in the chat, if Washington trades to the 49ers, and the 49ers have been proven that they will give up future capital to get somebody, could the 49ers be looking at Thibodeau? Could they want to move up a little bit and get an interior lineman?
This brother said he weighed more than me.
I don't know.
Bro, I'm over 200 pounds. Your face alone looks like you throw up after you eat. So don't sit here and tell me you weigh more than me, bro.
Oh my God.
Maybe your hair does if you let it grow. That 275. Stop. 275 what?
Yeah.
Millimeters, motherfucker.
Right. Right.
If they do that, they should change the name again. to the Washington dumbasses.
I agree. But now let's remember, this is not my team. This is the football team, the Commodores, Commanders, Condoms, whatever you want to call them. All right, that's what it is. So, if as long as it ain't the Giants doing something stupid like that, I could care less. In all actuality, I hope they do.
I'm 275 dunks on your head. Reek, put the shrooms down, man.
Right. Rick, them little pieces of paper, quit putting them on your tongue. There ain't no way dunking on Lou. And Lou wouldn't obliterate you, Rick. He would break an ankle so bad you would need a wheelchair to get around.
Well, damn, Mike.
Mike coming with the fire. Ooh. Because I mean, the 49ers at 11, they get a first-round draft pick again. Man, could you imagine them adding to that defense? What if they like one of them corners? What if they want the guy from LSU and move up to number 3 with Houston? So I'll give you the 11th pick, our first-round pick next year, and whatever. And the 49ers go up there and trade with Houston and grab that corner. Or the safety. What about if they grab Hamilton?
So you're a George Karlaftis fan, huh, Rick?
Yes, he is.
Hopefully we don't trade picks. What do you think we will do with Daniel Jones? We're going to trade at least one of them picks, Neymar. We simply don't have enough draft picks to rebuild with all the areas that we're lacking.
Right.
So it only makes sense to trade one, if not both of them. Because we're not going to get a quarterback in this draft.
Right. Because they said they want to build around DJ for a year or two.
Yeah.
That tells me they're going to pick up his 5th-year option. I know people don't like hearing that. But that doesn't mean we won't look at a quarterback next year.
The mistakes and stuff that DJ made were rookie mistakes. Now, true, he was still making them in year 3. Granted, I give you guys that. You get no argument from me. But I honestly believe that was the coaching, man. I honestly believe Jason Garrett he turned this man into a one-read quarterback, and he was literally trying to sabotage Joe Judge's job. He wanted the head coach job. He did not like being an OC again after being a coach for a decade. He figured, I'm in good with the Maras. I was a backup quarterback here. If I make this guy look like a bum, they'll fire him, and I'll be next in line. And Joe Judge knew that shit, and Joe Judge wanted his ass out of there year 1, and they forced him to keep him.
Right.
I guarantee you, Garrett was sabotaging that man to get his job.
Jimmy G, Dak, and Hurts. That's why I brought up the Super Bowl.
Damn right, NYG. If them the 3 quarterbacks we facing and we don't win the damn division, boy, I'm slapping the shit out of somebody.
Right. And there again, the right defense shuts those 3 guys down. That's why I started the stream off the way I did, man.
You should just put that as a ticker underneath the stream so you don't got to keep popping it up every time you put a comment.
What?
That like, subscribe, and ring that bell.
Yeah.
Go to your banners.
Yeah, it's too tiny.
No. Underneath it, click ticker.
Yeah.
And it'll scroll across the bottom of the screen continuously.
I don't have. See how tiny it is?
That's fine. I can read it just fine.
I'm glad you can. I can't.
Yeah, we don't got senior citizens watching us. Ain't none of these guys
stop,
70.
Bobby. Bobby's just happy that the football team's looking at Garoppolo, but they still got to give up 3 first-round picks for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he was too conservative. I agree with you, Blaze the Kid. But was he conservative because he knew we had a shitty line, or was he conservative just because he's conservative? That's the question I want to know. And now that he's back in New England as an offensive guy, we'll see if he's really that conservative or not based on what plays are being ran out there.
I like this.
Of new hire of Mike Kafka and new quarterback coach Shea Tierney. What guys of new? What do we think? I think that's
Yeah.
what he's asking. What do we
Yes.
think of the new hires?
Yes.
Uh, I like Kafka's passing schemes. I'd like to see what he can do with the what DJ can do with his style of offense. Tierney, I don't know too much about. Just gonna be honest. So I'm not
Well,
gonna sit up here and make myself sound stupid and say
Mike
something
Kafka
that
was
I
the
don't know.
actual coordinator of the passing game for the Chiefs.
Right.
He wasn't just a quarterbacks coach or that guy that they might
No,
have.
that's why I said I would like to
Right.
see what Daniel Jones can do with his play scheme.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though, is I'm letting people know his background. He was actually the passing game coordinator. He's the one that schemed Tyreek Hill. He's the one that schemed Kelsey.
Oh my God. Can you imagine what he can do with Tony?
Right.
You know what?
Right.
Don't be surprised if Evan Ingram stays this year.
I'm not a fan of it, but I'm going to agree with you.
Don't be surprised if they keep Evan Ingram because he has the intangibles and they was just using him wrong. If he is used correctly, we can turn Evan Ingram into a Tony Gonzalez type player. I promise you.
As long as he can catch, quit batting the friggin' ball up in the air. But that would not surprise me. I'm not against it, but I'm not for it.
Good point, Blaze the Kid.
You know, as far as Tierney, I think he's going to be a hell of a lot better than Shaplinski because he's going to be more involved into what they want the quarterback to do. And I think he's going to be able to get Daniel Jones out of that one read bullshit. And I think you might be surprised at what Daniel Jones can actually do. So, I mean, the head coach is already asking DJ, what plays do you like to run? Even back at Duke, what plays did you like to run?
Right.
You know, what does that tell you? It's a guy who's like, all right, this is what he likes to do.
This is what he's comfortable doing. Yep.
Right. What can we, look at? Does he like to roll out? Does he like to run a bootleg?
Goddamn, Bobby, that's a good one. I might have to use that. I ain't even gonna lie.
Right.
He said Evan
man.
can't even catch COVID. God damn.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Taj. I'm in between. I'm not gonna hate it because I'm trusting the new regime. I gotta see what they're looking at, what they're thinking, what the identity of this franchise is going to be going forward.
I'll tell
That's
you what,
my biggest
this is
problem.
gonna be the litmus test. If we have a lot of the same guys here this upcoming season that we had last season, and these guys turn around and look like a new team from day one, then we'll know that it was completely on the coaching staff.
You're right. Steven, what's good? Riggs can go waste. Like I said, I'm with it, but I gotta trust the staff. He might, and that's what Lou's talking. That's what he's saying. I said this about a month ago because Ingram and Dawson Knox had the same skill set that Devil might like, so don't be surprised if we sign him to like a 1-year deal, like $5 million. That's what I'm expecting too, Mike.
You know what? If they do that, I won't be mad. Now, if he turns around and balls out for that 1 year, then we're gonna have to sit down at the table again and figure out if he's worth re-signing for big money or if he's worth letting walk for a pick.
Right.
But hey, that will only benefit us. If he balls out and decides to go somewhere else and they pick up that cap, and we get the draft pick, who knows? So it could go a lot of ways, man. I'm just excited to see how it's going to turn out. Because for once, I'm actually confident in the guys that we've hired.
Right.
I was confident in Joe Judge because of his opening press conference. And I was confident in Patrick Graham because I've seen what his defense can do. But I was never confident in Dave Gettleman. I was never confident in Jason Garrett. I never wanted him here.
Me either.
So
look for a lot of RPOs, motion, misdirection, high-low reads, outside zone running concepts. It's a way to max out Jones. I don't think he'll be a top 15 quarterback regardless of scheme. Look, he didn't run RPOs at Duke.
Real quick, Joe.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to run to the gas station real quick.
All right, boss. I can
I'm
hold
out
it
of
down.
smokes.
I can hold it down.
I am out of smokes. That is
Oh.
no bueno.
No, it isn't. You better go remedy that while the gas station's open.
Right, because they close here in a minute.
Right.
Trade Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton. Hey, I'm all for it. Get rid of both of their bitch asses.
Right. Now
But
Daniel
if we
doesn't.
trade both of them, we're gonna have to trade them for another receiver. Because you don't want to be trying to draft 2 receivers.
Right.
So if you're gonna trade Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton, trade them both to one team for one all-star receiver.
I said, but Daniel doesn't run RPOs. He didn't really run them at Duke. I personally, I'd rather keep Daniel in the pocket, let him run forward and slide for 4, 5, 6 yards, like Josh Allen or Rodgers. Just let him get what he can and slide. Damn it! Don't try to get more than you can. The blocking scheme is going to be inside out, so that's going to open up the front with different line concepts. Look, just that line blocking alone could make Daniel a better quarterback. And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
Hey, man.
Big Pat.
Sorry, guys, man. Damn, DoorDash was so packed. I had to go to Outback Steakhouse. And when I say everything, I've never seen Outback Steakhouse that packed, bro.
Breaking news. Y'all don't let Pat fool you, okay? Pat is an immigrant. Pat is an illegal. He is a border jumper, ladies and gentlemen. He was detained at the border, sneaking into the country while smuggling coffee beans on a donkey. Okay? Pat is Mexican. He is what is known as an Afro-Latino. Okay? Don't let him fool you. He's not black. That brother is Mexicano. He got caught smuggling coffee beans in El Paso on a donkey.
Mm-hmm. Blackest Mexican you've ever seen.
Oh, I've seen plenty black Mexicans.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
And the shit is, most of them don't admit that they black.
Right.
Be like, motherfucker, you black.
But I overheard, because I was listening on my phone on the way here, there's no way you trade Slayton and Riggs for any top receiver in the league.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know that, but
you're not even going to get a half decent receiver for them. So brief me on what I missed, man. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, you're fine. Basically, I was just talking about the Super Bowl. What a good defense does. Look at how the Bengals defense kept them in the game.
Minutes,
okay.
All right, Lou. Should the Giants really look more towards defense the way this draft is shaping up than offense in the first 2 picks? Because, I mean, the defense won the game for the Rams. They disrupted Burrow. Chase was wide open on that last play. Burrow got sacked. If Burrow has another second, that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
So
I'll say this. Out of the top offensive tackles, who do you trust?
That's another point.
Because with Evan Neal, I don't trust his motor. And what I mean by that, he doesn't finish plays.
Yep.
He doesn't.
Yep.
And that's like a Mekhi Becton type thing with me. I'm not saying he's Mekhi Becton, so don't take that and run with it. What I'm saying is when you look at his film, he should be way more dominant than what he is, considering his size and his athleticism. With Iquanu, do you trust him to be in a pass block scheme? Because when I look at his pass blocking, he has a lot that he has to learn when it comes to pass blocking. Can he learn that? Yes. With Cruz, I think he's the most balanced, but I think he's the least talented and the least athletic out of the 3.
Right.
So if I have these questions, Joe Shane quite sure has these questions and more. So if a Hutchinson drops or Karlaftis drops at 5, and I'm not gonna guarantee it, but man, I really think they're gonna take that kid Lloyd with one of those first 2 picks. I really think they're going to do that.
Well, I brought up the point, Pat, that Washington might be trading their first round pick 11 for Jimmy Garoppolo. That's breaking news lately.
Please do it.
What if the 49ers have been known to trade? What if they move up there with Houston and grab Thibodeau or an edge rusher to put with Bosa?
Well, the 49ers will have to give up the farm to get up that high because I think they're the 27th pick or the 28th pick?
No, they would be at 11 because they don't have a pick this year.
Oh, you talking about if Washington gives them the 11th
right?
pick.
If they give them pick 11,
I can see them doing that.
And
putting Thibodeau out there. Oh, that would be vicious.
But what does that do to us in the draft? It doesn't really change anything.
No, it doesn't.
But now we got to face, if we play the 49ers, Bosa and Thibodeau.
Yeah, I think that would be a vicious combination. Because the way they run that defense, they wouldn't count on Thibodeau to be a major run stopper in that defense. So,
right.
I think that would be one of the perfect situations for Thibodeau.
No,
to be honest with you.
Actually, Pat was born in Chicago.
Yeah, I was born in Hawaii.
Hawaii, okay, but raised in Chicago.
We raised in Chicago, Indiana, and then did a little stint in North Carolina, and now I'm here in Louisiana.
So it doesn't mess the draft up, Pat, but it's just room for thought. What does that do for other teams? Does it?
Let's say if he does fall to 3, who are the first 2 picks?
Right.
Because I'll be honest with you, I like Evan Neal, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's a good prospect, but I wouldn't put the number 1 pick on him.
Well, there again, Jacksonville. I don't think anybody's going to offer Jacksonville anything for that first pick. There's not a guy there that you want to move up to 1 and grab.
Right.
Detroit, I think Detroit's going to have to stay 2.
Mm-hmm. I think nobody's going to trade. I think the only team that might trade is us.
5 could be interested because everyone might want to jump Carolina depending on what they want.
Yeah, whoever wants Kenny Pickett is going to have to jump Carolina if Carolina is really all in on Kenny Pickett.
And that won't be a trade until we go to the podium. We're on the clock. You're not going to see that get an early trade. It'd be that day because I don't think Shane's going to want to trade that away in case Hutchinson falls or somebody moves up and does that stupid move. So that's where the Jets pick comes into play.
Right. NYG, he's saying if the Washington football team traded their pick to the 49ers, so they'll be at 11.
Right. Because they're trading pick 11 for Garoppolo with the 49ers. So the 49ers would have Washington's pick at number 11. And if they wanted to move up to 4, first next year, well, they'd swap picks this year. First, well, Christ, just to switch with us, you probably have to give up 2 firsts, a second, and so you're probably looking at 3 first round picks. Swap picks this year, a first next year, a first the following year, and then maybe another.
I don't think they had to give up that much just to move up 6 spots. I don't think they had to give up that much.
Well,
I know it'll be their swap this year, first next year.
Right.
Maybe a second this year if you can swing it. But I know it wouldn't be like a first next year, then another first. No, it won't be that. King and Green is pretty good too.
Well, and that's the thing too. We haven't seen the combine yet. That's where all the movers and the shakers. I mean, look at the draft I just did, Pat. How much has it changed since we did it a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
Right.
I got a Kwanu at 19 or 18. You really think that's going to happen?
I think these tackles might have been hyped like the quarterbacks, to be honest with you.
There's such a need.
Right. But
people are
Joe,
talking.
Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say people are talking down Linderbaum too. So
I don't know, man. It's just I can see where it could go bad with all three of them. I can see where it could go bad with all three of them. Lacrosse, he might not be athletic enough to block type tier pass rushers. Evan Neal, he has the size and athleticism, but does he have that mean streak? Equano has the mean streak, but does he have the means to be a good pass blocker? I know he can run block. So I might put him at guard. If you put him at guard, I think he's an all-pro in 2 to 3 years.
Right. Yeah, and I see that, Namar. The Eagles fans are just cracking up about that one. They knew what they were getting rid of, and
yep, they should.
So they don't have a first, but if Washington trades with the 49ers, if Washington gives up their first round pick this year and gets Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers would get pick 11.
Uh-huh.
Think what's a smoke screen? Yeah. Yeah. We broke down the film. Go over and check it out on Big Pat's channel. We broke down all the tackles. Yeah, and Indy's already. So, I've even seen with the Cardinals now, somebody brought up the trade suggestion of getting rid of Murray for Watson. The Texans and the Cardinals swap quarterbacks. So we'll have to see how that goes. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Jimmy G, what's he making? 22?
Mm-hmm. NYG, you're not getting it. They're trading Jimmy Garoppolo for the Washington Commandos' first number 11 pick.
Right.
That's what they're giving up to get the number 11 pick.
It hasn't happened yet. But if Garoppolo goes to Washington, Washington gives up a pick 11 to get Garoppolo. Tunsil for a first and second this year. No.
No, sir.
But thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, all three of us.
I might give you a 4th rounder for him.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, NYG. If they want Jimmy G that bad as is being reported, they would have the number 11 pick, and the Washington Commanders give up their first round pick for him.
Right. Be trading their first round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep.
That's that's fine, Miz. That's fine.
Right.
I don't care. It's not my team. What's up? No. That's
I would definitely welcome playing Jimmy G, Dak Prescott, and Jalen Hurts.
Right. Because, like I said, if Washington gives up this pick right here and the 49ers get it, what could the 49ers do to move up and get an edge rusher or...
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're talking is it's already just a first round pick for Garoppolo. They originally wanted just a second. The 49ers were talking just a second round pick. The football team, Washington, is what gave up the first round.
And Jimmy G making it to the NFC Championship game helped us start.
Yeah, and he's making 24 mils last year, right? So it'd probably be they're looking at a rental. So maybe I don't know how they do it. Maybe they're looking at another quarterback or something or develop. I got no freaking clue what they're even thinking.
Right.
Maybe offer Jimmy Garoppolo a new contract.
Right. I would if I'm giving up a first round pick for him. Shit.
Well, do you like Jimmy Garoppolo over the quarterbacks that are coming out this year? Well, that's what you have to ask yourself.
I do. But the thing is, If they make that move, they consider themselves a win now team.
They got a defense. They got weapons. That's the thing. They got weapons and a defense.
If Kyler Murray goes to the Texans, he's not gonna like it. I promise you that. He'll be in baseball soon. That'll be the worst move of his career to do that. I know he cannot be that butthurt because Cardinals fans were mad with his performance in the playoffs. I think that's a smoke screen.
That might be. I'm just telling you what was reported. I'm not saying this was going to happen. I'm just telling you there's reports out there that the football team's thinking about getting rid of their first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo.
If they do that, that is absolutely ignorant. And I would love for them to do it.
It's not going to hurt my feelings any.
Just like I hope the Eagles waste one of their first-round picks on one of those quarterbacks.
I could see Wentz ending up in Pittsburgh. He might.
Yeah, I could see that too. If they miss out on Kenny Pickett, I can definitely see that.
Right. Because they're going to want an experienced quarterback. I mean, they're built to win. Even with as bad as Big Ben played this year, they're still built to win.
Right. But, if Big Ben played like Big Ben, shit, Pittsburgh probably would have been a 12-win team this year.
But if the 49ers take 11, that takes one team out of the quarterback committee competition. Teams looking to trade up.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to happen. So then you've got still Atlanta, Carolina, Atlanta, Denver, Minnesota. I don't know about Cleveland, but that only leaves about 3 teams. So maybe nobody does trade up now because Washington just got taken out of it if that trade happens. I don't want it. I haven't liked anybody since the beginning, but we all know that teams reach for a quarterback.
Right.
You saw Mitchell Trubisky getting reached for over Watson and Mahomes. You see Sam Darnold was a reach. Yeah.
And he must have been on a lot of people's radar, Joe, because remember, the Bears only moved up one spot. So somebody was trying to trade with that team before them. The Bears was like, no, we'll give you this to move up.
Right.
Because somebody else had a trade on the board because it doesn't make sense for you to move up one spot. And nobody else was trying to trade. So somebody else tried to, what if the Chiefs or somebody was trying to trade with that team?
Yeah, but they were afraid of Trubisky, though. Come on. I think the Chiefs or somebody would have after Mahomes. But
I said, what if the Chiefs were trying to trade him to get Trubisky, but the Bears beat him out? That would be messed up.
Carson Strong looks like an eagle. It is. And that's all it takes is a rumor. That's all it takes is one rumor from somewhere. They say it draft night every night. Oh, there's trade talks within the Jets organization, or there's trade talks in the Denver organization. They really like this kid. Oh, not yet. He'll be back soon, though. He just had to run down to the gas station. Crazy that nobody likes the young QBs that are cheap in this draft or willing to trade picks for washed up backup QBs that make a ton of money. This is crazy. This is the NFL. Unless you win a Super Bowl every 3 years, 2 years, your job's not guaranteed.
Right.
If
they would have lost that Super Bowl, you would be hearing rumblings the next year, I promise you.
Unless you're a winning franchise. Look at the Steelers. You win games.
Even Mike Tomlin a couple of years had some rumblings about him getting fired.
Right.
And he's never had a losing season.
Right. So looking at the board, who's going to do a Cincinnati Bengals move this year?
Take a receiver?
Right. In the top 13 here.
in the top 13, the only one I see is us. That could possibly do it. Because Atlanta, well, maybe Atlanta, since Ridley is
Yes,
gone.
I am, LA Vance.
Ah, there he is.
I can see Atlanta taking one. I don't see Seattle taking the receiver. Don't see Washington.
Well,
Don't
the
see
Jets.
Minnesota.
It's the Jets.
Oh, well, I don't see the Jets taking the receiver either.
Well, they got 2 picks.
I
4
know,
and
but
10.
I don't see them taking the receiver, either one of them. Receiver is not the issue. They need offensive line, defensive line, and secondary.
Secondary.
Listen,
I get it, but
NYG 22. I don't like none of the young QBs that are in the draft, nor do I want any of the washed up quarterbacks that's making a ton of money.
right.
I don't want Aaron Rodgers. I don't want Russell Wilson. I don't want none of them guys. I've been screaming this shit since before the season was over. I've been saying, fix the O-line, build the trenches, and then see what DJ can do. And if he doesn't, if he falls on his face, then next year we go get our quarterback. I've been saying that shit for like 7 months now. So
I hope not, Namar. I really do. Not until the 2nd or 3rd round. There's some value depth at wide receiver. G Nation back.
Yeah, out of the top 13, only teams I see taking the receiver is Cleveland and us. I know Houston probably ain't gonna do it at number 3. I know that. I know Detroit ain't gonna do it at number 2, even though they need a receiver. They're not gonna do it at number 2.
What you did miss was my Odell Beckham rant. If everybody would pay attention to yesterday for a brief second, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna run through it again. Now, Odell Beckham looked best with Eli Manning. He went over to Baker Mayfield, looked like shit. Everybody was saying, "Oh, we won on that trade." He ends up with another veteran quarterback, and guess what? He looks like Odell Beckham again, and he went and got a fucking ring. So the common denominator in him not looking great was Baker Mayfield. So will the Cleveland Browns be looking for a quarterback this year?
It's a possibility, but I wouldn't draft another young quarterback. Still got Baker Mayfield.
Baker's ass.
Yeah, even though he sucks.
He's another Dak Prescott, a glorified number 2 in the number 1 spot.
Right.
And with that, I digress. Back to you, Pat.
Well, Odell Beckham, they said they fear he tore his ACL. So,
well, at least he got him a ring before he was done.
Yep. But that is true. He looked like a totally different receiver when he went to play with Matthew Stafford. So, Baker Mayfield has got to be the guy that was causing him to look bad.
And another point that I brought up was this is what happens when you hire a friend as a GM and he trades away your best receiver. Right? You hire Dave Gettleman and he tore this fucking team apart. Okay, with a bunch of bad drafts, bad trades, bad everything. Bad accent, bad attitude, bad every fucking thing. I'm so glad that guy is gone. To me, he was worse than Jerry Reese. He was the dynamite that blew up this organization.
And his organization was already trash before he got here.
But he fucked it up even more.
And the thing about it is,
and think about this real quick. Sorry, Pat. Odell Beckham was happy until Dave Gettleman came here. Yeah. Odell Beckham wasn't going on the radio throwing people under the bus and talking about he wanted to be in a sunny place or none of that shit until Dave Gettleman got here.
Yeah, but he was doing other things before he got here, and we weren't winning with him. Only reason why you say anything about that now is because Gettleman did bad drafts. If we were drafted good and started winning games,
I'm happy that the man got a ring. He wasn't going to get it here because our drafting was terrible. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that just goes to show you, you can't go hiring people because you're their buddy. This guy came in here and destroyed a team that was collapsing already, but he came in here and bulldozed it. He could have came in here and renovated it. He chose to bulldoze the bitch.
And the thing is, I don't know what was going on in that front office, because the way Gettleman started drafting, it was like he just gave up. Maybe he just got tired of it and just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna take my last 2 years and then I'm gonna retire.
Well, I heard a lot of rumors it was Shermer that wanted OBJ gone. It really wasn't so much the front office. I remember reading articles about Shermer was the one that wanted to trade Beckham.
That could be true too. Right. I think that was one of the best things for Odell, because it got to his head here in New York, and it was only going to get worse and worse and worse every year. And I think that trade to Cleveland really opened his eyes, and then Baker Mayfield just turned out to be trash, and he got traded to the Rams, and that was the best thing that could have happened for him.
Well, he didn't get traded. He went through.
Well,
he
got released,
right.
and then he went to the Rams, so
Right.
that was the best thing that could have happened for him. But I think that trade to Cleveland really saved him.
It made
Not
him
just his
mature.
career, him.
Yeah, it made him mature. Because he realized, damn, I threw Eli under the bus, and I came over here, and this dude got me looking like shit. I should have stood with Eli.
Imagine what he would be like if he was still here. That means you telling him that he was Teflon, that you needed him, and so that was only going to make it worse and worse and worse. Who knows what the hell Odell Beckham would have turned into if we would have kept him? To be honest with you,
Antonio Brown.
Right.
He'd have ended up doing jumping jacks in the end zone with no shirt.
Right. I mean, who knows? Because after that Panthers game, he was a totally different cat after that. Still very talented, but he was a totally different cat after that.
You think Galladay hollered at Garrett? OBJ probably would have slapped him upside the
Oh my
head.
God. Shit, those last 2 years with Eli, OBJ would have flew off the rails.
Yeah, he's a lot of injuries, and you know what? After that, you might see the turf gone completely out of every stadium now.
Good. That shit been fucking.
Unfortunately,
we
got one more year contract on our turf, but Christ, I'll go out and water that shit every day.
It's a long damn drive for you to go water it.
Right.
I know a lot of people wanted Abrams gone, but all this guy is doing right now is controlling the money and the contracts. That's it.
Yeah,
and
that's
he does
it.
know
I
the
don't know
system.
why. That assistant GM was just a title.
Right. He's not even that anymore. He's just the money man.
Yeah, that was a no contact.
Right. He was just there in case of Gettleman's health declined. Is the only reason he got the title assistant. Because he took over
when Gettleman had cancer.
We had Reese. He was an intern for a while. Yeah, that's right. It was when he had the cancer. So, yeah, exactly. He is just a cap guy. That's it. He knows numbers. He knows how to finagle contracts.
The contracts and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And why bring in somebody new when he knows all the contracts that he's done the last 2-3 years?
They can't get rid of Kevin Abrams. He's the guy cleaning all the dirty money. He's got all the goods on Mara and Tish.
He probably is. He's got his ring. He's got his kid. Wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't retire now. Really, it wouldn't. Just like Darnold, they're saying he might retire.
Well, I mean, think about it. What is he coming back for? He's going to be injured. Half the team is going to be gone because they can't afford to pay them dudes. So he's not going to come back to the Super Bowl. So he's just staying there to work out, rehab, hopefully get back on the field and probably re-injure himself.
Right.
Because they'll rush him back because everybody's going to leave. So they'll rush him back because they need him and he'll get re-injured.
Right. Wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't. What else is there to do?
He got his ring. He broke records. The only thing left he can be shooting for is Hall of Fame.
He's got his bag.
That's the only reason I can see him staying is to try to make it to the Hall of Fame.
Who you talking about?
Odell.
Might.
I can see him stay because he might have a little bit to prove. I mean, after those Cleveland years, they were saying he was washed. And yeah, I could see him coming back. I think he just loves the game that much, to be honest with you.
I know he was crying because he couldn't get back in the game. Boy, that shit was sad. I felt bad for him.
Well, look at the day Tiki retired. No one could believe that Tiki Barber retired in his prime. Guys do it.
I agree. Aaron Donald should have won the MVP, especially when it was crunch time and they needed the sack at the end. He did it.
They're starting to get rid of the scouting department. There's guys that are getting canned. I've been watching that. Reports are coming out. People are not coming back or not getting resigned or
little by little they've been doing it. Little by little they have.
Yep, just hasn't been out there like some of the other stuff, but there's articles on it.
Yo, son. Yo, after this is over, stay on for a minute, Joe.
Uh-oh.
I gotta tell you about an episode of The Simpsons.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'll hang out.
Oh, shit. You know I ain't lying, though. When you woke up, did you go look at that shit, Pat?
Mm-hmm.
Look.
Matter of fact, we ain't even got. I'm just gonna send you a pic, Joe.
Uh-oh. Is that why my phone just lit up?
No, I didn't even send it yet.
Oh.
He said, "Uh-oh." Oh man.
Yeah, Aaron Donald was an absolute monster yesterday. I thought it was either gonna be him or freaking
Listen, I'm not mad Cooper Kupp
Stafford.
Got it. Who's done what Cooper Kupp's done the last 20 years?
Shit, nobody but Rice.
Right.
And that ain't even 20 years. That was way longer than 20 years ago.
Right.
That man might have had one of, if not the greatest season for a receiver ever. Yeah, that was dumb, Miz. When they got into it with Aaron Donald, you woke him up. And that man turned into an absolute monster after you did that. Should have let that dude sleep. That pumped him up so bad, man. I knew he was gonna turn into a monster after he did that. When he ran back into that field, I was like, man, you dummies.
Hey.
Man, this is priceless.
I don't know if he's been let go, retained, or moved, or what. I do not know.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
You're gonna kill me, aren't you?
No, you're gonna laugh to death.
Like I said, you're gonna kill me, aren't you?
Oh my God, that shit is hilarious. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. I just had to.
Hey, kind of waiting. I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie. Well, you know what, Bobby? A lot of Giants fans were liking what the Bengals did. All right, and there again, that might be O-line coaching. Because no matter how you look at it,
this is the best thumbnail in the world.
The draft pick was right because that draft pick got the Bengals to the Super Bowl. And they almost won it. So we all sat here and said they were stupid. If they don't draft Jamar Chase, do the Bengals make the Super Bowl?
Holy shit.
2,000-yard receivers, do they make the Super Bowl? That's the question I bring up. That's why when I look at this draft here, just as something fun, who could do the same thing the Bengals did? Do you see a defensive interior lineman getting drafted in the top 10? I mean, the Raiders did it. Of course, we know the Raiders do goofy things. But Larry Tunsil dropped a pick, 13, 14, whatever it was, because he got caught with a gas mask.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I come up with this show. What?
Then, go ahead, Joe.
I just saying, what unorthodox pick could you possibly see happening? And it happens every year. There's one or two. You're like, huh? Scratch your head.
Oh my God.
You had something, Pat?
No, I mean, it's like sometimes these stories are broken to make people fall on purpose. And the reason why I say that is a lot of the times it's the people that want to draft you that will make up a story. Like that Tunsil gas mask thing. Who does that an hour before the draft? Probably somebody that wants to draft you and wants you to fall. So, I mean, somebody's going to get drafted where you're going to be like, what the hell happened?
Right.
What were they thinking? So it's going to happen. Hopefully it's not us.
Right.
But
right.
we got two chances to really do it. So who knows what we do? A lot of people saying, I like the receiver Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. I think he's going to be a beast in this league.
Boy, I am a funny motherfucker. When I start fucking with something, boy, I am a funny motherfucker.
Okay.
Joe, don't piss on yourself. Here it comes.
I'll try not to. I'll even leave the camera up so y'all can see my reaction. If they're not going O-line, they could have gotten their one killed. Chase two, but it was a very, very risky move. It was a risky move, but it worked out in the end.
Yeah. And now all they got to do now is fix that offensive line and look out.
And when I said I wanted to keep Judge, I had people coming at me say, you got to get somebody fresh, somebody new, no risk, no reward. Perfect example. So guess what? We got rid of Judge. God. We fired everybody. We just couldn't fire the owner, or that would have been a complete freaking rebuild. And that's the road we're down right now. So it's a copycat league, folks. And I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's wrong. But are other people going to follow and do what the Bengals did? How many teams are going to follow and do what the Rams did?
Mm-hmm.
And for the longest time, it was the Kansas City model. Before that, it was the Patriots model. The Patriots just get a shit ton of draft picks, find a guy that works in one place, stick him out there. Well, so it's just like losing Lamar Jackson, Bobby.
Look at your phone, Joe.
I can't. It hasn't come through yet. I got a pooper, and that's it. I don't think we're going to trade up. If anything, we're going to trade back. I don't think there's a guy that up there that we should even Hutchinson, as good as I think he is, I still don't want to trade up for him. If he falls, grab him.
There it is.
What'd you do? Send it through Twitter?
No, send it in your text.
Okay, I got it now. Attachment, 2 images. What in the hell? What in the hell?
Tell me there's not a resemblance.
Oh my God. Hey, Homer, we have another player.
Oh man.
Hey, Mr. Homer. But I get it. Okay, O-line. What if he gets hurt? Well,
Them
you know
them
what?
thumbnails right there will never get you any views.
Yeah, you got that right. Look,
Well, if any team loses their franchise QB Bobby Murphy, what are they going to do?
I know.
If the Packers lose Aaron Rodgers, what are they going to do?
And they've lost him to shoulder injuries and shit like that. Lamar Jackson was out because of an ankle sprain.
Right. Look
Hurts
at the
was
Ravens.
out
They
for a
didn't make the
couple weeks.
playoffs. Right. They didn't make the playoffs when Lamar Jackson went out.
Dak
What if
was injured.
What if
Russell
what if-
Wilson was injured.
Right. What did the Seahawks do without Russell Wilson? And they lost every game. What if the Chargers lost Herbert? That's not saying anything right there. I mean, everybody knows that. If you lose Burrow, you got the best offensive line in the league. But if that quarterback is Mike Glennon, you're not going to do as well as you're supposed to do.
Why is LA Vance talking about new era flex hats?
I have no idea.
Because you got one.
You can't see your eyeballs, but you got one.
Oh, in that picture. Well, they don't want to see my eyeballs. Look at what's in my mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
Oh,
want to know what.
Pause.
Yeah, NYG 22 and Bobby Murphy. I'm just trying to see where y'all going with it when they said lose Burrow, who getting the ball to those receivers. That's like with every team.
Right.
If you lose your franchise quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why you try to find a stable backup.
The people don't recognize that defense is what really kept them out there. That defense showed up all playoffs for the Bengals.
Except for Eli Apple in the last 4 minutes.
It is ridiculous.
That was the only weak point. That was the only weak point on that defense, Eli Apple, because everybody else was balling.
He was the one with all the mouth before the game.
Listen, you can also say that that's on the play calling too, because when Mixon was running the ball, he was gashing them.
They started stopping that run though.
They did, but when they were going outside,
Mixon was gashing them. Yeah, he was.
Run it at Aaron Darnold on third and one. Really? How many?
I didn't understand that either, Joe. Like, you see the dude is starting to play out his mind, and then on the very last play, 4th and 1, you're gonna leave Aaron down on one-on-one with your left guard.
Right.
That didn't make sense to me either. And then on the other sack, they left him one-on-one when he bullied that dude. That's true, Bobby Murphy, but they took the risk and it worked. Like, they made it to the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't say what just because they lost one game because of the offensive line, that they only lost by 3 points. That's a well put together team, and they're young. Nobody's over 26.
Right.
They get offensive line now for sure. What are the Bengals going to be if they get an offensive line?
Oh my goodness. With Mixon, with Burrow, with Chase.
That's why we need to make sure we get Linderbaum and Ekwonu.
You tell me one team in the league, not just the AFC, the league want to see the Bengals if they get an offensive line. They'll be back.
Right, King Tone. Whose idea was that? He said,
that was a big problem too, NYG 22.
We had practice squad people as starters.
Right.
Backups. We had practice squad people as starters.
There's another point right there from King Tone. You put Eli Apple on Cup.
Yeah, one-on-one. That didn't make sense either.
So, you guys could say it might be the O-line, but it could be play calling too, because they had plays that were working where Burrow wasn't getting crushed. I would have I would have rolled him out to the right on 4th and 1, because he could run and get the first down, even with a bad knee. If he had that bad of a knee, he shouldn't have been out there.
No, Joe Burrow was fine. He was running and everything.
Well, they said he might have a torn ACL. I haven't heard a report, but people are wondering it, and it is a concern because we haven't heard nothing yet.
The crazy part about it is people want to say, "Oh, they should have got O-line help." Well, nobody was saying that all the way up into the Super Bowl.
Right.
They made it to the Super Bowl. That offensive line was good enough to make it to the Super Bowl.
And that defense held Patrick Mahomes to a 0 QBR in the second half of a football game. Who's done that? That's why I started off my stream, Pat. Is the correct move offensive lineman, or in this draft, a defense, linebacker, edge?
Because of the if the offense can't score, you win.
Right. The Ravens proved it. This is the real deal. Huh? Yeah, he did do some dumb shit. That's what one guy, Andrew Luck.
And they did this for years on top of years on top of years. They did that to Andrew Luck's whole career. You talking about one season when the Bengals didn't fix their O-line, and they made the Super Bowl the season that they didn't.
Right.
That's progress. Yes, the O-line, and the O-line really only played bad against very good defensive teams, like the Titans, who were beating people up this year, like the Rams, who were killing people this year.
And it's not like they can't go out in free agency because they're going to have the 31st pick. Who the hell are they going to get that's a lineman? They're going to have to get guys in free agency.
I think they get one of the best tackles available in free agency this year.
Me too.
And they draft a guard or somebody with their first pick.
That's what I'm thinking too. They go guard, first and second pick. You've got to figure the first round guy is probably going to be able to start. The late second rounder might have the potential, but hell, they might even take the center off the board if Linderbaum's gone. They might trade up and get Linderbaum.
Right.
If he's on the board,
they might trade up and get him. And you guys got to know there's always exceptions to the rule. The Bengals were an exception to the rule. They had a bad offensive line, but man, it's just the chemistry between Joe Burrow and those receivers was so good. They got the ball out very quick.
But did it happen last night?
And he made it to the Super Bowl. None of our teams in this chat made it to the Super Bowl. They made it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
With one of the shittiest old lines that you guys say in the league. They made it to the Super Bowl. So guess what? Next year they get a better offensive line. Look out. Look out. If they can do that with a shit offensive line, imagine what they could do with a half decent offensive line.
Well, Bobby, the Eagles got such a much better offensive line. Why the hell weren't you guys there? If your line is that much better, go ahead, Pat.
And I can say y'all did that to Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz kept getting hurt because he kept getting killed.
We're not saying that we don't. We're showing you the example of what they did last year. When did we say ignore the O-line?
Right. Nobody said that.
What? At any point in this video, when did I say ignore the O-line?
Did they not make it to the Super Bowl? Bobby, did they not make it to the Super Bowl this year? Now you put all your assets into the offensive line because that's the only part of the team that needs fixing. Everything else is straight. Maybe a cornerback. That's it. Offensive line, first two picks. Offensive line, free agency. They don't have to do anything else. They fixed that team, and they were good enough to make it to the Super Bowl. They beat the Raiders, the Titans, and the Chiefs to make it to the Super Bowl. And were 3 points away from winning a Super Bowl.
Oh, apples and oranges. Oh, my goodness. I'm still waiting to hear when I said ignore the O-line.
Right. Nobody said. We're telling you that now they need to fix the O-line for sure right now. Did taking Jamar Chase over Penny Sewell work? Yes or no? if they got an O lineman, Jamar Chase wouldn't be on the team.
Right.
Well, now this year they can get O linemen. They got their whole other team in place.
Exactly. Right. That's what we're pointing at. Look at the way they did it. But because the quarterback got sacked a few times.
But we can't afford to do that. We've got Daniel Jones' neck hurt. We've got Daniel Jones a concussion already. We've got,
right.
We can't afford to do that. We need O-line.
We haven't done neither. We haven't drafted a Jamar Chase for Daniel Jones or anybody that's the point I'm getting to. Oh. We haven't done either. At least the Bengals got Joe Burrow the weapons, and the weapons are there. They're solid weapons. They're there all year. They never hurt. That helped out a lot. Mixon helped out a whole lot. When they drafted Jamar Chase over Penny Sewell, they were absolutely crushed for it, but it turned out to be the best decision that franchise has made because Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are like playing at LSU right now.
Right.
They're that good together. It just clicked.
Right. And then T. Higgins had 1,000 yards too.
And then you got Tyler Boyd, who came off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons before this year.
And that offensive line could give Mixon lanes to run the freaking football. Mixon was damn good this year.
Right.
I'm gonna have
so now
it's been 2 hours. Sorry.
All
go
right,
ahead.
Lou.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Now all they got to do is get the last piece fixed, the offensive line. Right. They can go this whole offseason and focus on one thing just about.
Thank you, Levance.
Replace Eli Apple and fix the offensive line. That's the only thing they got to do.
Slay.
And then tell y'all me they're not favorites.
Y'all trying to make it seem like the Bengals are in trouble or something. If anything, the league should be looking out for the Bengals because if they did that and their quarterback was getting sacked that many times, imagine if that dude is standing upright.
Right.
How the hell are you going to guard Chase, Boyd, Higgins, Usama, Mixon, and Joe Burrow's a damn good quarterback? Yes, they did ignore it this past season, but they made it to the Super Bowl. So you're going to kill them for not winning the Super Bowl? That doesn't make sense. Hey, they made it further than any of our teams.
I would have rather gotten there than be 4-13.
Got that right.
You can't. What now? You're gonna say they did a bad job because they lost the Super Bowl by 3 points, and it was one drive away, one stop away from winning the Super Bowl. Now all of a sudden you're just gonna crush them. Oh, they should have had an O-line. No. It don't work like that for me. I say that's a damn good team.
Right.
And now they know exactly what they need to do is fix the O-line.
Right.
That's the only thing they got to do this offseason. Replace Eli Apple, fix the O-line.
Right.
And they're going to win that AFC North for a couple of years.
You know what, Bobby? Here's the thing.
Anybody can get their career ended.
The season's over with now, so you ain't got to worry about it. He's still playing. He's still playing next year. So why are you worried about that? Because you know they're going to fix the O-line this year.
And then NYG22, you never heard us say DJ is the answer. I don't know who's saying DJ is the answer. There's no way you can say that. All I'm saying is I just want to see him with a decent offensive line. I just want to see him with a decent offensive line. That's not going to hurt anybody.
I mean, he's going to be here this year anyway.
Right.
So we might as well fix the fucking offensive line and see what we got in him.
Nobody on this panel says DJ is going to lead us to the Super Bowl.
You've never heard me. You've never heard me call him Danny Dimes. I've never called him that.
I said he was a top 10 quarterback. You know what? For the first 6 weeks, he was. For the first 6 weeks, he was. And how good is that Rams D-line?
One of the best in the league. And they had to score a last-second touchdown to win, Bobby Murphy. That's what we're saying. You act like they got blew out or something.
Right.
Those guys were one stop away from winning the Super Bowl.
Bobby Murphy.
It's not like they lost 35-0 or anything. They lost 23-20.
Right. Right.
They lost 23-20. If their offensive line was better, yes, I do believe they win that Super Bowl. And I think they win it easily, to be honest with you.
So watch out next year.
Right.
Watch out. They know exactly what they need. They got the cap to do it. They got the picks to do it.
Right.
If they go up into the first round, trade for Linderbaum, take their second round pick, get an interior lineman. There's some good ones that are going to be available second, third, fourth round.
And they're the exact opposite of what the Rams are. They're the exact opposite. They're built to last a long, long time, barring any major injuries.
Right.
They're built to last about 6 to 7 years if they keep
10.
that team intact.
Young
Giants
line,
never gave
young
DJ
quarterback.
a fair shot. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he says Giants never gave DJ a fair shot behind that trash line and wonder why he struggles to get injured every season. I mean, that is true.
Was he or was he not in the top 10 up till week 6? Was he or was he not?
Stat wise, he was.
There you go. Stats wise, he was.
At the beginning of the season, he was like number 3 in yards, I believe, and
yeah,
he just wasn't getting the touchdowns. But
right.
As far as like yards and shit,
yeah,
like even quarterback rating, he was up there.
So you can laugh at me. I see the talent in the kid.
Now, I'm never going to say he's the answer because he hasn't proven it.
I've lived through 2 other quarterbacks getting the shit beat out of them by the media and fan base and everything else. What's another one?
Yeah, Eli took his
Phil
lumps
Simms
too.
was laughed off the stage by Pete Rozelle. The Giants with the 4th pick in the 1979 draft select Phil Simms, Morehead State. Yeah, he's laughing now. Simms has
Zach
2 rings.
the Potato is in the building. What's up, Mr. Potato Head?
Mr. Zach.
Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for Classified 3F with Joe.
Thank you.
There are no secrets. Or I will secretly come find you. No, I'm just playing.
No, I'm doing that.
Damn.
Look.
Shit. You subscribe now.
Top 10 for a couple of games. Okay. So there's no talent there. You guys were screaming for DJ for the final 4 weeks.
Daniel Jones might be good
Glennon
now
or Fromm. Y'all were
coach.
screaming for Fromm. Fromm didn't work out the way you guys thought he was going to work out. Y'all thought Glennon was going to be better than DJ. That didn't work out.
True.
So you had nothing to go to. So then you went after Joe Judge. And then that worked out because you got Joe Judge fired. Okay. So now it's a whole nother year of, well, Daniel Jones sucks. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there was mention of it before the Super Bowl last night, Zach. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, we heard that. We were discussing it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The Panthers are undefeated until Christian McCaffrey went down. If Christian McCaffrey doesn't get hurt, who knows what that team would have done because they had a top defense and they were shining on offense.
Right, but that was only for a couple of games.
Yeah, people were saying they were actually legit until he went down.
The Ravens were real until, Lamar went down, but that was only a couple of games. He went down a couple of games, but well, they should have been in the playoffs. I get it. I get the hate. It's okay. I got big shoulders.
I just want to see what the kid can do behind a good offensive line.
When people say that, Pat, that says to me that you see something's there and you're not quite sure what the hell it is. When I hear people say that they want to see DJ behind a decent offensive line or with a good scheme or with a little bit of continuity.
That's just common football logic. You don't draft a guy 6th overall, put him in a position to fail for 3 years, and then dump him.
Well,
because that's how they end up on other teams, and they make you pay for it the next time they see you. And The kid has potential. I don't give a fuck who don't like him, who likes him.
Yeah.
If you have eyeballs and you've watched the games, the kid
Yeah.
has potential.
I get it.
With the right coaches in place, and if he has the right attitude and he's willing to learn and grind and work, which I believe he is, you should be able to see a way more improved DJ this year. And if he doesn't, then hopefully you've set yourself up in this draft for the next draft.
Well,
I always try to put situations if I was in that situation. If you're at a job, let's just say you're a blacksmith or something, and you make weapons, but you don't have the ore, you don't have the hammer to knock out the steel, and you don't have the handles to put on the swords. And you've been trying to make swords and shit for 3 years, but they've been terrible because you don't have the materials to do it.
right.
And then they say you fucking suck and kick you
Right.
out. How would you feel?
I'd go find the material
Hey.
to make a sword and come back and cut the fuck out of him.
Well, that's
Right.
like I give the example of Ryan Tannehill when he was in Miami, and look what he's doing with the Titans now. And everyone says, "Well, Tannehill sucks." Oh, so okay, whatever. Okay.
They did the same thing to Tannehill. That's a great comparison.
Yo.
They did the same thing to Tannehill in Miami.
Yep.
They didn't have shit over there in Miami for Tannehill. And he went to the Titans and beat out freaking Mariota for the job. And now the Titans are considered a damn championship team every year
Well,
with Tannehill at quarterback.
Miami has a history of doing that shit. Look how they did Marino, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever fucking lace him up.
And he never got a ring because they
got
never
him
put
any
shit
fucking
around
help.
him.
And all them records, just for the record, FYI, all them records that Peyton, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady were chasing, and Brett Favre, all belonged to Marino at the same time. He
Yeah.
held every quarterback record at one time. So all those guys who you call the GOAT now and everything else, they was his records he was chasing.
Right.
And then
Right.
not to mention that the kid has never had a full set of weapons his whole career.
Or
For
Tannehill
5
does.
games. For 5, I'm talking about DJ. He's
I know
only
you
had
are,
a full set of weapons for 5 games. And out of those 5 games, they didn't even play the full game.
And they was all injury prone than a motherfucker.
No, it's not because of Eli. Has nothing to do with Eli. Has
Nothing to do with
absolutely
Eli.
nothing to do with
I
the
like the
comparison.
kid.
He
to
don't
Eli.
remind me of Eli at all. Eli didn't
Sure
scramble.
Yep. And Eli was a master at the line of scrimmage.
And Eli knew where to throw the damn ball. He didn't get his receivers killed.
You knew Eli was going to put the team in the best position to win at all times.
Which brings us back to what I said about Odell Beckham earlier. Look how Odell Beckham looked when Eli Manning was throwing him the ball. Then look at how he looked
with a
when
rookie.
Baker Mayfield was throwing him the ball. And then look how he looked with a veteran Matthew Stafford throwing him the ball. He looked like old Odell again. So what we're saying is get this freaking team, get DJ a O-line. And if he's still out there looking like Baker Mayfield, can his ass. But if he comes out next year looking like Matthew Stafford, then damn it, we got something.
Damn it, just let the man play a season with a full cast.
Right.
This man gets linemen hurt, receivers hurt, running backs hurt, a trash offensive coordinator, a trash coach,
a trash O-line coach.
Trash O-line coach, trash receivers coach.
Fighting in the locker room, try being a stable person in the NFL with all that shit going on behind the scenes. Coaches fighting.
It's like y'all don't remember what you say. You say we had the worst offensive line in NFL history. We had one of the sorriest coaches. We had one of the trashiest offensive coordinators. Nobody stays healthy. The only constant that you've seen is DJ. Guess what? It never got this bad when DJ was on the field. At least you was able to watch the freaking game. When Jake Fromm and Mike Glennon came in when DJ got hurt, man, we went from trash to what the fuck?
What are you doing? What is
wrong? No,
tell. Go ahead, Joe.
It doesn't. No, I saw where you said off the field. I saw where you said that. And no, it has nothing to do with that. These guys were just examples of what DJ on the field, what he brings. Look, this kid gets beat down by the media every friggin' day. Still comes to work with a smile on his face. He sees the social media.
Hey, if I was getting,
You
when he was
know,
getting paid, I
and
wouldn't
then he
give a
has to
fuck
talk to
neither.
his
I'd be coming to
brothers
work
and his
smiling too.
family.
Right.
They're seeing fucking
the check.
social media just crush him. But the kid still comes to work every day. He's not ignoring the facility. He says, screw it. I don't want to work out today because I can't stand this goddamn town. He doesn't do that. He comes to work. He's trying to be a professional. He wants to be the quarterback of the New York Football Giants. And he's willing to do anything that it takes to become that. When we talk about somebody being out there on the field, having anger, pancaking people, attitude, persona of I'm going to mess you up right here, right now. You ain't getting to my quarterback. That's what Daniel Jones has right now because he knows how historic this place is. He got taught by one of the greatest quarterback coaches there is. In this college, he won bowl games. He wants to win.
He ran out there head first, stretched his neck like a damn giraffe, and got popped trying to win.
Wound up neck longer than Mike Lennon's. But Bobby Murphy makes a good point too. He says, put DJ on a team like the Saints behind their O-line, and Giants fans would be saying, see? I know they'll switch it up. But I'll ask you this. If you put Daniel Jones on the 49ers this year, do they beat the Rams in that playoff game?
Let's not forget, sorry, Pat. Let's not forget, this is the same fan base that was calling for Tom Coughlin to be fired the season before he took us to the Super Bowl. And then again, the season before he took us to the Super Bowl again. This fan base is wishy-washy. Half of the New York Giants fans don't know shit about football. They just rep the Giants because they either from New York or have family from New York or they saw a game with Lawrence Taylor and they fell in love. But half of the damn Giants fan base don't know shit about football. They just like to watch the game and drink.
Dude, he just didn't get one of his weapons hurt. All of them were hurt. Barkley was hurt. Galladay was hurt. Tony was hurt. Slayton was hurt. Ross was hurt. Ingram was hurt. Andrew Thomas was hurt. Nick Gates got hurt. Shane Lemieux got hurt. Even sorry-ass Pert got hurt. That's not one. That's a whole team, bro. That's a whole team. And it wasn't just for one game. Shepard was hurt. It wasn't just for one game. All these guys missed multiple games.
Hurt. Nick Gates, Pert, Lemieux.
Yeah, I just said all of those guys. All of those guys were gone.
Galladay was hurt. Tony was hurt. Shepard was hurt. Ingram was hurt. Saquon Barkley was hurt. Fucking we even the rookies, the guys that we signed to back up the receivers got hurt.
Right. I got hurt.
We had to play.
I got hurt.
My feelings got hurt. My eyeballs got hurt. My pride got hurt.
Watching Glenn and I got hurt.
You act like he had a full roster of players and Kenny Galladay just got hurt and he just was sorry. No. A whole roster of people got hurt.
No, I ain't say you don't know nothing, King.
Hurts got hurt. Prescott got hurt.
Look at
Wilson
our fan
got
base.
hurt.
I wasn't
all
saying
the quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson got hurt. Well, Daniel Jones isn't allowed to get hurt. But all those guys can be hurt. Tua got hurt. Look at the conflict Tua's got down there. But his fan base is behind him.
If you put Daniel Jones on that San Francisco 49ers team this season, in that Rams playoff game, I promise you, I think he wins that game. I'm going to be real. That pass to Brandon Ayuk that he missed, that could have sealed the game, he hits that pass. Yeah. Our feelings were hurt. Their feelings were hurt. Joe Judge trying to punch out O-line coaches.
I was running
Jason
around
Garrett
screaming
tryna-
11-6 for half the damn season, and look how stupid I look. We end up 4-13. Yes,
Look,
feelings were hurt,
just
pride
Yeah.
was hurt, egos were
listen.
hurt.
Just
Butts
listen
were
to the
hurt.
situation this kid was in. He lost his top offensive lineman, the only guy that really blocked for him. He lost his center. He lost his left guard. He lost his main running back, the main weapon on the team, Saquon Barkley. He lost not one receiver, not two receivers, not three receivers, not four receivers. He lost 5 receivers and a tight end.
And he lost his manhood in the showers. God almighty.
Right.
Almighty.
He has an offensive coordinator. He has an offensive coordinator that we say that was the trashes in the league.
And he got fired halfway through the season.
He got a head coach that was the trashes in the league, as you say. The most trash offense.
Facts. Trash
offensive line. And you expect this kid to be Superman? Or what do you
what cleats?
What situation can you say that was worse than what DJ was in? Oh, you can bring up Deshaun Watson, but Joe makes a good point. Deshaun Watson went through all that last year with losing all his weapons and stuff. He only won 4 games. Guess how many games they won this year? 4. And that's with Deshaun Watson. We know he cold.
Hey, listen. DJ need to come out the tunnel next year. Bumping Eminem. No, I can't be your Superman. Can't be your Superman. Can't be your Superman.
What do you expect this kid to do?
It's no secret. Everybody knows. Our O-line is a bunch of hoes.
What excuses?
What excuses
You're the ones that are saying, sorry, Pat, you're the ones that are saying this O-line is shit. You're the ones that are saying this coaching staff is shit. You're the ones saying this training staff is shit. You're the ones saying this GM is shit. Reports are coming out that the coaches aren't getting along. They're fighting with each other. The coaches are giving up on the players. All right. And our blocking schemes got worse and worse and worse and worse as the year progressed. You're the ones that are saying this. But it's Daniel Jones's fault because all of this shit was going on.
Hey,
and he's trying to overcome it.
NYG. I'm not giving the kid excuses. He don't get a pass for none of that shit. What I'm saying is, with all of those fuck ups that we saw, some of that can be accredited to bad play calling, bad offensive scheme, bad O-line play. We're not saying all of the fuck ups was accredited to that. But let's not forget he was a rookie who changed offenses 2 times in 3 seasons. Okay, change coaches, change staff, had a pandemic. Now, I'm not saying that any of that is an excuse. What I'm saying is he has another year where we don't have to pay him big money. We don't like the quarterbacks that are in this draft. So the logical thing to do is build the rest of the team around him, see what you got in him this year for the cheap, right? Because if you go sign a first-round quarterback, he's guaranteed upwards of 13 mil to 20 mil based on what pick you sign him, okay? Whereas you can pay DJ the minimum for this year, build that O-line, fix that defensive front, okay, and see what you got in him. Now, if you set yourself up proper for the draft next season, in this draft, if DJ turns out to be what you think he is, NYG 22, then you've set yourself up for the future. You've built your O-line, you fixed your defensive front, and now you go get the quarterback in 2023 that fixes this team. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying DJ is Superman. I was just saying he need to come out saying, I can't be your Superman. That's it. I'm not saying the dude gets a pass or none of that. I'm just saying we got him for cheap for another year. Let's build around him and see what we have in him. And then if he fucking sucks, we're set to go get our quarterback. And we're bringing whoever we get in to a better situation than what we brought DJ into.
And there's no way Malik Willis comes here.
Right. Bobby Murphy. You're damn right about that. He says eliminate all the excuses then by putting the O-line in front of him, and then you know for sure it's DJ or not. Exactly. I like GOS's comment too. Yeah. He says if something is reality, it's not an excuse. I swear there's a quote with this excuse shit. Like for real,
right.
It's reality. It's reality.
Yeah, because he's GOS thinks the same way we do.
Yeah,
when it
and
comes
just
to
for the
DJ.
record, I talk with a lot of aggression and a lot of passion. I am from the Bronx. I'm from
Right.
the 70s. That's how I'm built. That's how I'm made. I don't want anybody to ever feel like I'm coming at them in the chat or talking down to them or belittling their ideas or opinions. That's not the case. So if anybody
Why?
feels like that, that is not my intent. I'm passionate about this team, and you know that's just the way I talk.
Well, I have to start reading NYG's comments like they apply to me because I know they don't.
Right.
Because I never said that this kid was going to turn around and be the Messiah just because we put office on. I said I just want to see. That
Right.
means I don't know what he can be, and I don't know how good he can be, and I don't know how trash he can be. That's
Right.
why I like Bobby Murphy's comment. He says, eliminate the excuses then, and do you finally see what the kid is really about?
Right.
That's what I'm about. I want to get a fair judgment on somebody. I want to see you in situations to where I put you to succeed and see what the fuck you gonna do. Are you gonna throw interceptions and keep fumbling, even though I got a decent O-line in front of you now and people are healthy? Then I know what you are. Then I can go on and get my person, another quarterback. I mean, but you can't say that this kid has had a fair shake. He hasn't. If you say Saquon Barkley hasn't had a fair shake, then what the hell has Daniel Jones had? Because he's been out there more than Saquon Barkley has. No offense. He has. He has to deal with that. He has to deal with people like Galladay and them not playing out there. He has to throw it to practice squad receivers week in and week out because everybody's hurt. I think he's gotten the worst deal out of everybody. To be honest with you,
I'm not worried about
Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson.
Nope.
Well, thank you.
I think
you
it's
know
gonna
why?
be too much draft capital.
Prison preserved me for one, and for two, the worst thing I've ever put in my body was cigarettes. So, gotta be careful what
Makes
you
you a
eat.
stand to some Giants fans, Pat. It does, unfortunately. It does.
It makes you a what?
A stand.
What is a stand?
A super fan.
Oh.
Like the Eminem song.
And I mean, why can't I like a kid if you guys don't think he's great? What rule is there that says that I can't love DJ? I can't talk good about him.
Pause.
Hey, you know what?
No loving on DJ here.
Hey, you know what? We all love Lawrence Taylor. We love Eli Manning.
No, I'm just fucking with
you. Know, God damn it. Look, all right. I like the kid. I can't help it. I like the kid. Don't know. I just see things in him that if the right staff comes along and can get it out of him, I see a kid
nothing wrong with that NYG 22.
Damn good. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we like your opinions, NYG. I mean, never go back against your word.
Not supposed to
just
the way you fall over when somebody disagree with you.
That'll make me not like you.
Right. Blah. He a yes man.
There you go.
Well, I don't know if you want me to read out GOS's comment, but
Oh,
okay. He says we got a number 6 pick invested in the kid. We got to see what we got. We move on before we know what he is, and he blows up. We look like double assholes, and the Twitter folk disappear. Yep.
Right.
No, the Twitter folk ain't gonna disappear. They're gonna say, "Man, we suck so bad. We had a good quarterback." What? Weren't you the ones just saying that he was absolutely dog shit?
Right.
Now all of a sudden we're stupid for getting rid of him. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, good luck with that, LA Vance. I hope she's a mature 27-year-old, because if not, boy, you about to have some headaches.
Headaches, brother. Real shit.
Been there, done that, my G.
No, I've seen it.
I need someone I can relate to, because after we done fucking, what are we gonna do if we can't talk?
Right.
Well, you don't want to play shoots and ladders afterwards, though?
Shit.
No, I'm saying. No, I'm saying because there's some young women that are mature out there.
Oh, I know there is.
I'm just saying, after you're done in the bedroom, you better be compatible in other areas. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up to fail.
What?
If you want something real, that is.
He says, but people say trade Barkley. Getting hit every play like Barkley is much worse. I doubt it, man. I think that kid Daniel Jones get hit just as much as Barkley was getting hit. He says people want to trade him and keep Jones. Trade your best cornerback in Bradbury. Bradbury is making too much money. Is he a quarterback that's worth a $20 million cap hit on your team? I say no. Cut your best linebacker only because Wink Martindale came over and we don't believe that he could play in that defense. See, the situation is not just they're saying just cut the guys because they want to cut them. It's not saying they want to trade Barkley just to trade him, but if you could get a first-round pick for Barkley, why wouldn't you? Are you going to get a first-round pick for DJ? I'm quite sure they would entertain the idea, too, if they could get a first-round pick for DJ. So don't make it like they're getting rid of these guys because they got something towards DJ that they just like about DJ, but fuck everybody else. It's not like that. Everybody and their mama said they was going to get rid of Bradbury after this year for cap reasons.
Value. It's about value. Who has the most value?
Exactly. Blake Martinez's value went down after we got Wink Martindale as a defensive coordinator, and he may not fit the scheme. So that makes his value go way down to the Giants. It does. And the only reason why they say they probably trade Barkley is because he has the most value on the team. I can't say that enough. He's the only guy on this team that you can even mention a first round pick. You say Daniel Jones is trash as he is, but you want to trade him and get what? You say he has a hurt neck. Yeah, you say he has a hurt neck. You say that he can't read pockets. He's a one-read quarterback. He fumbles too much. He throws too many interceptions. He's not a leader of men. He can't elevate the team. He's this. He's that.
God damn, when you put him like that, get him out of here.
Yeah, who's going to trade for that? If he's that bad, who's going to give you anything for that? I would get mad at you as another GM if you called me to trade me a guy. What the hell is wrong with you? I don't want fuck wrong with you. I don't want that guy.
Did you just offer me Fumbalaya?
Right.
That's what we're saying. Where's his trade value? You think what? You're gonna get a second? You'll be lucky you get a six.
Do you think if there was a Justin Hurt, forget that. Do you think that they'd be keeping Daniel Jones if this draft class of quarterbacks was like last year's? No. We'll be rooting for Trey Lance or somebody. It wouldn't be DJ. They
Facts,
don't like none of these quarterbacks.
We damn sure need to kick our punter off the team.
Right.
I'm all for drafting Jake Carmada in the 7th round.
Oh, man.
All for it.
Most of those guys are on defense. NYG22 is not on offense. Most of the guys they're getting rid of is on defense. And then the offensive side, Evan Ingram, what did he do for Daniel Jones but get him a bunch of interceptions that he didn't deserve?
You're 100% correct, Giants Opinion Sports. Giants fans are going to be pessimistic until we start winning. That is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most tri-state area people are pessimistic anyway.
Yeah, they're not going to
New York, New Jersey, Connecticut.
Until they see it, you know. I guess I'm one of those guys that just like to have vision and like to try to will things into existence. I guess that's
I'm the same way. I was screaming 11-6 trying to will that shit into existence.
Me too. Me too.
I guess that's where we butt heads. I just thought about that was a good point. I think that's where we butt heads. I like to see the positive things that can happen instead of just looking at the negative shit because it doesn't make me feel good just to think negative all the damn time.
Right.
Well, I tell you what, I think that Tony is going to make us feel good.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone goes chasing waterfalls.
I've never understood that my whole life to the word. Not saying anybody in the chat is doing this, it's just in general. I've never understood people that just want to be in a negative mindset. That doesn't. How do you feel good if you stay in that mindset?
It depends on your environment too, man. Because if you're in an environment where you have to be like that, you know, after a while, you know, anything you do for over 18 days becomes a habit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if this has been your defense mechanism or you know what I'm saying, just how you got to be depending on where you are, After a while, that shit becomes more than a habit. It becomes second nature. It becomes part of your personality.
But I also say,
That's why it's good for people to travel and get out of their city, their state, and see the world.
see other
Oh,
things.
I
I
did
love
that for
travel.
20 years. I did
Yep, I
enough of
love
it.
travel.
20 freaking years, man.
Because if I'd have never got out the Bronx, I'm gonna be real with you. I'd probably be dead or in prison. Because traveling and leaving New York and seeing other point of views and other cities and how other communities interact with each other, and just seeing countries and cities and states and how people are in different places, it gives you a different perspective on life. You don't always got to be so, yo, what the fuck you looking at, fam? You know what I'm saying? I grew up with nothing but that. So until I started going out of the city and seeing other shit, I didn't know that there was any other way of living. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing, go to NYG's comment before his last one. He says Ingram Barkley's saying trade Slayton. People want to trade Kenny Galladay and Tony too. I know you guys didn't say all that, but these are the narratives. Well, I'll tell you what this narrative. Ingram is a free agent. He never panned out to be anything, but they may bring that guy back considering the system that we're running.
I will say that a while ago. I think Evan Ingram might come back. Don't be surprised.
Barkley, he has a $7.2 million cap hit. And if he balls out next season, you're gonna have to give him upwards of $18 million to $20 million a year. Do you want to do that? See, the Barkley situation is all about whole lot about business. Do you want to pay a guy that's been injured for more than 2 seasons after having one good year, or do you want to trade the guy and get a first or a second round pick if somebody offers that to you? That's a hard decision. I don't care what GM you are. That's a hard decision for you. Do I pay a guy that only showed up 2 years out of his 5-year career? Or do I get value for him now if he's that hot on the market right now? Somebody's willing to give me a first round pick. That's a hard decision for a GM. Trade Slayton, that situation only came up to where his cap hit went up to almost $3 million because he hit escalators in his contract.
Right.
If his escalators didn't hit and he was still in at 800,000, they wouldn't even say trade Slayton because it wouldn't even make any sense. Kenny Galladay. I don't think anybody wanted Kenny Galladay here except for Dave Gettleman and maybe Mara.
Garrett.
Garrett. Guess what? Garrett's no longer here and shit. The person that won him, he got into it with him. And then everybody says that Kenny Galladay ain't worth the money. So if he's not worth the money, what are you going to get on about the Giants if they trade him or not? He's not worth the money, right? Get rid of him. And these same people that say, oh, man, you can't you trade Kadarius Toney, some of the same people that are saying that this kid is a thug, that he doesn't want to play football. How the hell did you come up with that situation? There hasn't been one report about this kid missing meetings, falling asleep in meetings, not showing up to practice, not showing up to play.
Well, you know the narrative on brown or black people. We're automatically thugs until we prove otherwise. But let me be quiet.
Man, I want to be a thug.
So where's this thug mentality coming from? And that's the reason. That's the reason why people probably don't want to come to New York, because of the media, because of the fans like that. How you gonna put that moniker on that kid if you've never heard anything about the kid? I just heard that he got pulled over with a registered weapon. The weapon was registered. It was his. It's legal. How is that a problem? You got the blow up that you wanted. You got the coach gone that you wanted. You got Garrett gone. You got Judge gone. You got Freddie Kitchens gone. You got Gettleman gone. You're getting the staff and the people in the training staff, the people in the front office gone. You're getting your blow up.
He said, don't keep Stonehanding.
I gotta catch up here. Ravens checked them out, and Bears. Okay.
And those are all teams that believe they can win. And the Bears, if they get Saquon Barkley and he stays healthy, him and Justin Fields will be dynamic. He says it's just not silly not to blow it all up. QB and all. Tank and get the top 5 pick next year for your QB. But to get rid of pieces on defense and offense and say we need a fair evaluation of Jones is crazy. You do need a fair evaluation of Jones. And it has been blown up. You mean to tell me that you want to watch a whole nother season of what you watched last year and watch this team not even try? That's what you're telling me.
How the hell could you watch 17 games of Mike Glennon?
I couldn't handle the 4 or 5 that I seen.
Right.
So there's no damn way I can watch 17 games of that shit. And the defense, you get rid of defensive pieces because you brought in a new defensive coordinator. You wanted it blown up. So this is what happens. The pieces that we're saying to you, we got Aaron Robinson to replace Bradbury. You know this, NYG. You're smart enough to see what goes on. Blake Martinez does not fit Wink Martindale's system. I don't believe he does. I don't believe he does. And that makes him expendable. Why? Because everything got blown up.
I love the fact that you know your shit, NYG22, and I love the fact that you're passionate about this team just like us. But you're forgetting one little factor. Under Shermer, you saw a totally different DJ than you saw under Garrett. Okay? So you mean to tell me that all the bad QB play that you saw out there was strictly on DJ? None of it was on Jason Garrett in the coaching. None of it was on Joe Judge's conservative play calling. None of it was on these guys dropping passes. None of it was on the O-line.
I have to mention that these dudes were dropping passes left and right.
He said, I agree with you, Pat, just not on Jones. Well, hey, we can agree to disagree and keep it moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just don't see
all. Give Daniel Jones fair opportunity, guys. If we prove all of us wrong and we make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, what's going to happen if that? What if Jones takes us to the playoffs next year?
All I'm saying is we have a history of calling for people's heads to be brought to the chopping block, and then that following season they surprise the fuck out of us.
Right.
A la Tom Coughlin, a la Eli Manning, a la Corey Webster. Remember, we benched Corey Webster, and then Corey Webster came back and balled out and had a game-winning interception in the playoffs.
One of the main reasons why we won the Super Bowl.
Giants' opinion, he's right. They don't like him. They never will. We could go to the NFC Championship game next year, and it would be still murder on the kid. Brand new coaching staff, brand new everything, but it's Daniel Jones' fault.
No, but don't get me wrong. I'm not excusing him. He does have to wear some of the blame. Okay,
yeah,
his locking in on one target and not going through his progressions, his fumbling issues and not being more aware in the pocket. True, we didn't have much of a pocket because our O-line sucked ass, but you still got to know how to maneuver and be aware of what's happening around you.
Where's he supposed to go?
Throw the ball out of bounds. Don't take the sack and fumble.
God.
You see what I'm saying?
They killed Eli for that. They said he was washed for doing that.
I know, but some of the stuff he does have to wear too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he does.
I totally agree that we need a full, fair assessment of him. Put an O-line in front of him, but some of the stuff he is accountable for too. But like I said again, those were rookie mistakes.
Saying, what if he makes it though? What are you gonna do if he takes us deep into the playoffs this following season?
Me?
No, NYG. If Daniel Jones takes us deep and we win a couple of playoff games, how are you going to feel about that? Because everyone's talking about he's going to suck. So that's already predetermined. Because nobody going to say he's going to be decent next year. Everyone's saying he just sucks, period, right now. End of sentence.
Well, that's why I said you trade back. You trade back your number 7 pick or your number 5 pick. If it's the number 5, you trade that bitch back to number 9. Okay. If it's the number 7, you trade that bitch back to like 12 or 14. Reason being, you get a first round pick for next year's draft. Okay. You take that first round pick and your first round pick. And if DJ stinks this year after we fix the O-line, then you're in a good position to take your 2 first-round picks and go get you a quarterback, because I don't believe in these quarterbacks. That's the only
That's the
reason.
only
Now
reason why
listen,
they're not going to take
if
a
there was a
quarterback.
Justin Herbert in this draft, Joe Burrow in this draft, a Patrick Mahomes in this draft, I would say fuck him right now.
Right. Me
Right
too.
now, hands down. But I don't believe in Pickett. I don't believe in Willis. I don't believe in these guys.
Right.
So I'd rather stay with the cheap option quarterback, right, than spend guaranteed money on a first round pick who might be a bust as well. I'd rather run with him for this year, save that money, maneuver in the draft so that we have 2 first round picks next year. And then if he fucking stinks, like you say, then we're good next year. We got our O-line fixed. We got our defensive front set in place. And these guys will be in the second year under the system, and they can help a rookie quarterback coming in. The center will be able to help him call out protections and shit. The running back will be able to help him. The whole team will be in the second year in the system. The O-line will have gelled, and he'll be coming into a better situation.
I've already said the minute this new staff got hired, new GM, new coach, new everything.
No, if he
I was
sucks
with
again,
Pat.
I'm
Hold
telling
on. I said Danny Jones is probably gone this year. So I lied. I do like the kid. I love to root for him. But I admitted right here with Pat, Danny Jones probably gone. The minute we hired Shane.
Yep. I thought he was gone too.
The second we hired Shane. But did I get upset about it? Like you guys are getting upset in Barkley and Tony and Galladay? No.
Nobody.
It is what it is. I told everybody when this team gets blown up, love the team, don't love the player, because you're going to see guys gone. You're going to see guys cut. It might be your favorite player.
Yeah, but nobody's saying that we love Daniel Jones, Joe.
I do.
Well, I don't. I'm just saying he might be a stopgap quarterback.
It could be.
Or he might end up being that guy. Who knows? But what I'm saying is I don't believe in none of these quarterbacks enough to go first round picking them and have guaranteed money to pay these guys. And then if they turn out to be a bust, we're in a worse situation than we are now. Whereas if we run with him for the cheap option this year and fix the O-line, find out what we have in him. If he fucking sucks, we set up for a quarterback draft next season.
Who do you get if you move on from Jones? Jones is the best quarterback you can have for this season. Because if you wind up drafting one of these quarterbacks and they turn out to be bad, what do you think it's going to do to this franchise? You know what it's going to do? It's going to get the new regime fired. That's what's going to happen. If that first round quarterback turns out to be bad, they're going to say, you guys got your guy, you failed. Guess what? You're fired. You guys are going to be the first ones calling for their heads. If they draft Malik Willis and they suck for 2 years straight, guess what's going to happen? Fire Joe Shane. Fire Dabo. They all suck. Fire Wing. Get rid of Willis. They all suck. I don't think this regime is willing to do that on one of these quarterbacks in this draft. I'm sorry. It's not worth it. You keep Daniel Jones, see if you can make anything out of him. If he sucks, you get rid of him the next year. Plain and simple.
At worst case scenario, and this is just my logic, this is what I think is happening here. This is not what I would like to see happen or what I think should happen. This is what I think Joe Shane and Brian Dable are doing. I believe that they're going to try to fix the situations around DJ.
Yep.
And next season, whether he balls out or not, they're going to get the quarterback that they like. I think what they're going to do is try to make him an Alex Smith game manager to get through the season and pull off 8-9 wins so that they secure their job. And then they'll go back tomorrow and say, look, we tried it. He didn't understand the system well. He didn't move, whatever. So we'd like to go get a quarterback this draft.
NYG, didn't you just say tank the season?
Right.
So if you want to take the season so that we can draft a quarterback.
Now, hold on, NYG22. You just said that nobody knew what Mahomes or none of these guys was going to look like. How you know we ain't winning shit? Just because DJ's quarterback? I can argue you with your same argument. You said, well, how did anybody know Mahomes or them was going to be this good? Well, how do you know we ain't winning shit? If we draft the right guys and Brian Dable turns out to be the quarterback whisperer that people are saying he is, and we turn Daniel Jones into an Alex Smith game manager, if you got a game managing quarterback with
a good
Kadarius
defense.
Toney, Saquon Barkley, you know what I'm saying, and an offensive line that blocks, holy shit.
Had a
Now
great
you got
situation.
something on your hands.
Yes, they did. They did. Look, it's not so much the coaches, man. It's Willis needs a year to grow. If Daniel Jones doesn't do good the first 4 games, the fans are going to be screaming for Willis to come in. And me and Pat did a film breakdown on Willis. He needs a year to sit, like Patrick Mahomes.
And I believe DJ needed a year to sit. They
I
should
do
have
too.
sat him behind Eli for a year.
I
and
do
this
too.
discussion wouldn't even be taking place.
Right. I really do think he should have.
He said he likes DJ. He said he thinks he can work with him, Bobby. That's what Daboll's come out and said. Matter of fact, all the GMs that interviewed for the Giants job all thought that DJ had a talent there that they could bring out. That's what they all said. I didn't say it. They did.
Right. That's another thing. We didn't say they wanted to work. They wanted to work with DJ. They said they wanted to work with DJ.
I'll put it to you guys like this.
The Commodores.
There was a quarterback named Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow came into the league. Tim Tebow took the Denver Broncos to the AFC Championship game. Now, were his mechanics good?
No.
Okay. Did he have the most accurate arm?
Hell no.
Okay. He was more of a damn halfback. All right. But they were able to get to an AFC Championship game.
Right.
Where is Tim Tebow now?
He was playing baseball. Now he's with the Jets.
But he's not in the NFL.
And now he's
not in the NFL.
Right.
If DJ was as bad as you guys make him out to be, do you not think his ass would be gone with Tim Tebow or Josh Rosen?
Is that what is that what it is? Do you feel that ownership is pushing DJ on them? Is that why you're not comfortable with DJ? Because I don't think
that refused to report because John Mara just came out and said he has the carte blanche to do anything he wants with Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley. He just came out and said that.
Right.
So they're not forcing DJ on anybody.
They can trade him. They can trade anybody on this team right now. Anybody. If they've got carte blanche, that means nobody is safe.
It's the fans that don't know. I suppose these guys know Jones ain't the answer, but I feel ownership pushing them to keep him.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
I don't know enough to say yay or nay. I haven't heard any reports about it. But with Mara coming out and saying we've done everything we can to set this kid up to fail, it could be a possibility. Mara has been known to do shit like that. So
I don't think either one of them would have took the job if that was the case.
I do too.
Because they could have went anywhere they wanted to.
Right. They were getting offers.
Oh yeah, they had interviews everywhere.
But
yeah, they could have got a job anywhere they wanted.
If we took Sam Howell in the 2nd or 3rd round, I don't think I'd be too upset.
I wouldn't be upset either because
who come to your team, Jameis Winston?
Any Alabama. Young might be the guy next year. Yes.
But see, that's why we have this show on Monday, right? This is the mockumentary. This is where we just throw out a bunch of theories and what ifs and get people fucking conversing and ideas rolling and
speculation. It is.
Yeah.
100% speculation. None of this is.
The last thing I'm going to say on the Daniel Jones situation. Did you see or did you not see this team get significantly worse when that kid got hurt and he came out the game? Did we go from a bad team to what the fuck is this? When Daniel Jones went out the game. All the other guys were gone.
What's good?
What's going on, Alice? All those other guys were gone and hurt.
Yeah.
We never turned into a team that was unwatchable. We were disappointed, but we never turned into a team that was unwatchable until DJ got hurt.
Man, we beat our division rivals, the Eagles. We were celebrating that shit.
We were in the game against the Chiefs with a bunch of people hurt. Daniel Jones playing.
Highlight Bobby Murphy's sorry, Pat.
I agree. I just think Debo and Shane are open to giving DJ a fair chance. He obviously has talent. That could be it too.
Just answer that question for me.
These guys are experienced coaches in the league and GMs and scouts. And if they're willing to take a shot, they're both first-time head coach, first-time GM. If they're willing to take a shot with this guy, they must see something that we don't.
Right. And like I said, I just need that question answered for me. I know I'm talking to myself, GOS, but did this team, what did this team turn into when Daniel Jones got hurt? All those other guys got hurt, and we were still able to watch this team play. We were disappointed and mad. But when Daniel Jones went out, this team turned it from bad to one of the worst teams you've ever seen.
I worked damn hard myself, but I can't play quarterback.
Hey, yeah, but you know what? When you're really good at your job, you get opportunities for advancement or you get a pay raise.
The Giants signed the quarterback office Steelers practice squad. Davis Webb, we drafted him in 2017.
Right.
We brought him back on the team. We cut Glennon and Fromm. We signed Lewerke, Thorson, Davis Webb, and kept Daniel Jones. So as it stands right now, we have 4 QBs on the roster, which is why I know we're not drafting Willis.
Me too.
We have 4 quarterbacks. We ain't drafting another quarterback when we just signed a quarterback last week and already had 3 when we signed him.
If we do get another quarterback, it's going to be Mitch Trubisky, but he might price himself out. Right. I think they're only willing to give up $3 to $4 million for a backup quarterback. If that, that's probably why they got Davis Webb, because he's played in the system before.
Oh, yes, they have Giants' opinion. That's why I said, you guys are giving Daniel Jones a hard time. I'm used to living through it. Eli got it. Phil Simms got it. I mean,
only one that didn't get it was Haas. Because he stepped in and did his thing. Yeah. He came off the pond.
Everyone the guy that everybody loved turned out to be the worst one.
Yeah, when he went to the Raiders, oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he was.
Man, I got a lot of laughs during that time.
Yeah.
He was horrible.
I remember that.
That man was terrible.
Oh, that was brutal, man. Hey, what up? Welcome back, Coach.
Oh, shit. We got a mod in the building. Do we have a mod? Here. Is anybody a mod in the chat?
I got rid of them. I can do that from here. I'll block their ass. Yeah.
Nathan Peterman.
I can remember the fans calling him that because he'd get hurt, he'd get crushed, he'd get freaking, of course, back then, 1980, 81, they could take your head and drive it right into the goddamn ground.
Right.
So he was always hurt. Everyone was calling him a soft boy. He's always injured. Get rid of him. He can't stay healthy, yada, yada. Of course, that's coming off of the 70s too, which is what we're coming off of right now. Phil Simms was drafted in 79.
Didn't Jones get smoked? Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
80, 81. That's when we started turning the team around a little bit, drafted LT. 83, we got Carl Banks, and that's what led us to a dominant defense. And the offensive line, they started putting that together. It started clicking. It started gelling. The playbook started opening up, even though they were going through coaches. Bill Parcells started as a linebacker coach, got to the head coach after his first year. He was almost gone. fans almost got rid of Bill Parcells because they were
NYG22
bitching so much.
said, didn't Jones get smoked in the Rams, Cowboys, Tampa Bay games? Yeah, they looked worse, but it's not like they was tearing it up with Jones. That's a weak argument, Pat. Then he says, it's all love, though, fellas. Good convo as always.
Right?
Hey, you
they
always
did.
welcome here, man. Because you bring your points home with facts and stats, and you don't
Right.
get off emotional and start spitting at hominids at people.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that Cowboys game, he actually had it tied at halftime before he got hurt. That Rams game, yeah, he had one bad game.
Man,
in Tampa.
hell no. If Tom Brady became a Giant, I'm not gonna be a Giants fan no more. I can't stand that dude.
Right. I can't either.
Yeah, in that Rams game, I don't know who the hell was out there in that Rams game. And
Right.
Kadarius Toney was killing it that first drive, and then he got hurt. Then it was like, shit, well, you got to go to now. Only thing you had out there was Evan Ingram.
Well, guys, we've gone 3 hours here. I wasn't gonna go that long, but the conversation was just such fire. I got some family commitments tomorrow morning at like 6:30 in the morning. I got to be up by 6, so take care of the wife. She's getting some stuff done at the dentist, so I got to baby her. But Pat and Lou will definitely be live tomorrow night for the Giants Cave with Miz. I'll try to pop on if possible. I do want to thank everybody for watching. I love the chat. If you're new, like, subscribe, ring that bell like it says down below. Sub up Big Pat Sports Talk. We've got more in the works for you with G Nation. My guy Lou always bringing the fire, and our chat is always bringing the fire too. I love it. But before I wrap this up, guys, any last words? We'll start with you, Pat.
Man, I'm good, man. I'm just sorry I was so late, man. I didn't do
No,
it.
you're good, man. I understand. Commitments are commitments. I had my buddy Lou.
Hey,
But
listen.
other than that, nope.
Looks like he just woke up from a nap.
Nah, I'm good. NYG said, I can't stand Tom Brady either. We agree on that.
That's right. I do. Like I said, I thank you very much, guys. The Giants Cave will be tomorrow night. I forget on whose channel it's supposed to be, but keep an eye out on it with the YouTube, with your notifications, if you've rung that bell. And we'll definitely, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow night, but I know these two will definitely be talking more about this. And if there's any breaking news, you can bet you're going to get it and hear from it as soon as we can get and make a video.
No, we're not talking about this tomorrow.
No?
This is a mockumentary conversation. We're not doing hypotheticals and shit. We spit facts over at the Giant Cave.
And next Monday night, I will be doing it. We're getting closer to that combine, folks.
Yes, we are 3 weeks away.
So
the Underwear Olympics.
Yes.
Woohoo.
Y'all have a great week. We'll catch you later.